Renee Bays,
Rakim John,
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 Renee Bays,
Rakim John.
Hey, all you out there, all you
Fuck
guys.
bass, bitch. We in this bitch.
Bitch, stop trying to steal my shine because everybody knows that I'm the motherfucking star in the motherfucking building, ho.
Bitch, I'm the Cardi B of this podcast, bitch. Bow the
I'm
fuck
the
down.
Beyonce.
Beyonce? Okay, girl. More
Beyonce. Beyonce. B-E-Y-O-N-C. E with an accent mark on top of it.
And in that order.
And in that order.
B-I-C-T-H. Anyway.
Beyonce. Anyway, welcome to Podcast of Color, where 4 trash bags, including myself, who's really more of a glad bag, you know, the stretchy kind, like high quality trash bag, if you will.
So he's saying his
where
phone
we
was
just
elastic.
come together and we try to make some sense of this goddamn world that we're living in, because it's just wild. It's absolutely wild, guys.
It's just too much.
It's too much. It's 3 much.
It's 3 much.
It's 4 much.
You're doing
5
4
much.
much.
Stop trying to rob me, bitch.
We're one finger away from a fist.
Oh.
Oh my lord.
Oh, that's what we need, our 5th.
Our 5th. We need a 5th trash bag. Let's have a contest. Na, 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 na. America's next top podcast of color member.
Next trashiest trash bag.
I have 2 fleet bottles in my hand.
Bye.
Oh! 2 fleet bottles!
No, you have 1 fleet. 1 fleet, and only one. There are 2 people in front of me, and only one will be handed the fleet.
Only one water will be clear.
Oh my god.
This week's challenge, fisting.
Bye.
Can you get it up to the elbow? You'll find out.
Bye.
Oh my god, Baze!
Rakim, your water is not clear. I'm sorry. You're no longer in the running towards becoming America's next.
Well, actually, it is running and it's brown and murky. You need to go.
God, no.
Oh god.
Oh, bye. Oh, man.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, moms.
Hi, mommy.
Wow. Anyway, what's the question of color this
What's
week?
the question
Oh,
of
speaking of,
I guess it's
question of
related.
color this week?
Color.
The question of color this week is, how old were you when you first ate ass? Like groceries.
I just want to buy. Gotta eat
Like
the booty
groceries.
like groceries.
I don't.
Okay, I'll go first. Should I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
you excited.
so
I mean, you claimed it, so I mean, I'll miss this.
well, I think I was kind of late because I was talking to a couple of people about this today, and one of my girlfriends said that she started at 18.
Wait,
I
girls
was like,
eat
oh my
ass?
God.
Is that a thing?
Yes, yeah,
Go
straight
off.
women. I mean, yeah, straight women eating ass.
Straight guys will never admit.
Y'all didn't know about this.
Yeah.
But a lot of niggas like getting fingered. A lot of straight men like getting fingered. They
Fingers in the booty
I
ass.
bet it ain't
tongue.
me.
finger in the booty ass niggas, and they
Raise your
like
finger if you like to get fingered.
What?
huh?
So raise your finger if you like to get fingered.
So I was pretty. So I was pretty late. I think it was like. It wasn't until I was like 25, and I was like really fucked up. And so I did 2 things during this time that I didn't do a lot back then, which is like, I was so drunk. Okay, so I was really drunk, and this dude was eating my ass like groceries. Ooh. And it was like really good. Like, he was like, you know how some people just like have that, like, they just have, they're doing the like,
We get it.
GTA. I'm done. They do the GTA cheat codes like with their tongue. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, they know, like, just
Up
where
dash
everything...
B, left C, L2.
Right, exactly. It's like XX, triangle, circle. So, yeah, he was doing that, and I was like, oh, my God. And something, it just, like, turned something on, and I was just like, okay, like, I need to... I saw the Lord.
The Lord.
And I was like, I need to like make you feel this way because that was amazing. And then so that's when I tried it. Yeah. And like, yeah, it was, and like ever since it's just like,
Wow.
yeah. And I also bottomed that day, which like, I have to say I was like really drunk, and then I saw him again when I was sober. and he pulled down his pants in front of me once when I was sober, and I was like, holy shit, I took like that whole thing. But yeah, I think just when you're drunk with consent, things might be exactly. Impossible.
Was this a question?
Impossible.
Wait, but was this a question or was this story time? Okay.
Oh, he had a song on his spirit. He had to get it off. Testimony.
Sorry. No. Okay, go ahead.
Speak your truth.
Go. Your turn.
Me?
You.
Okay. I think I was 20. Okay, I'm trying to think because the first time I did was before I was out because I would like be on Craigslist ads and shit. So I think it was like 21 or 20. And God, okay, this is so embarrassing, but I like threw up before because this is before I was out, and like the first time I did anything with a guy before, like for the first time, I got really nervous and I got nauseous before. So I like threw up in my bathroom and I told my roommates that I had food poisoning, but I was really nervous because I was going to go eat this guy out and have sex. And, but
beauty.
it changed me life. And, and I, you know, sometimes when you like have like those divine moments and it's like, like that was one of those moments, and that's all I'm going to say on that, and that is the tea on that.
I'll go next. I don't actually remember when I did. It was definitely like a hookup, but it was like later. Like I had to be at least 22 because like I was mostly like doing hookups, and I was like, I'm not about to be eating a random stranger's ass.
Right? Wasn't like it weird at first, like thinking about that, like eating someone's ass?
It's just not happening. It's not even like
It's just not realistic.
And I still like, you know, I see pictures. I'm like, oh, I want to eat his ass, but like I get nervous because I'm just like, I don't know you. I know I'm letting you in my body or I'm in your body, but like I don't really know you
My
like
body.
that.
Because you don't know.
It's an intimate thing. I feel like
it's very intimate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trust thing. Because especially it's when you fall back and you trust your friend to like hold you up. That's what eating ass is like. So you gotta really trust the person when you fall into that ass. You know what I mean? You want to know they're not gonna be no dingleberries in your mouth.
Dingleberry.
Because I've heard the stories. I was on Tumblr and some dude was talking about how he was eating some dude's ass and like some shit came out while he was eating. Like
straight guys.
No, these were two
straight guys. Just have like.
Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't. That's another reason I'm not really that attracted to like. I'm like attracted to trade, and I'd be like looking at their butts. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice butt. But when I really get down,
you
to
know it's
about
dirty.
it, I'm just like, I know. No matter how fat that ass is, it's dirty as shit. Probably.
It tastes like fart. You don't eat it.
Yeah. And some people are into that. Some people like that.
But not me. Some people do like
I hope
that.
you don't listen to this podcast because this not the one.
This is a no judgment zone because we're all trash here.
No, your favorite's problematic. Rakeem doesn't like ass doesn't like fart smelling ass.
John, because as a former top John, tell us.
Wait, John is a gift to the world. He's a bottom that eats ass.
Yeah. That's all yeah.
Okay, your story, your testimony.
So I was 19 and
so young.
My boyfriend, my boyfriend's
His boyfriend.
ass at the my boyfriend's ass at the time.
I love how you said
we were
that.
doing
my boyfriend's ass at the time.
No, we're still friends. He actually listens to this,
but it's no longer.
Oh no.
We're actually friends. He listens to this show, so shout out to my ex who's listening to this show right now. Remember that time I ate your ass because you were eating my ass?
Congrats on the new ass that you have now.
Yeah. What the fuck? I can't.
Oh my god.
No, nothing. Okay, so yeah, it was like a sensation I've never had before, and so I was like, I want to try it, and he's like, yeah, go for it.
You say it just
So
like that?
It was just a. Yeah,
I want to try.
just like that.
Go for it. I want to try
And then his dad walked in on us.
No.
Wait, did he join?
Oh.
No! Oh my god!
Wait, is this
Sorry.
daddy like a daddy?
Did you ask? Is his daddy? Bitch, you are so gay.
Is his daddy a daddy? Is
No,
Wait, what did
I
his
meant
dad
to say
say?
his father.
What did his dad
was
say?
his
after
father
that?
his daddy?
No, he just closed the door and he was
Oh.
like, "Oh, John, was that you?" And I was like, "Sorry."
That's so cool though. That's
Was that you that had your face buried in my son's ass?
Good job, son.
Well, I was actually like going in between like eating his ass and sucking his dick, and,
Oh,
and his dad
word.
walked in. I was like, "I'm sorry that you had to find out this way."
Oh, he didn't know he was gay before that?
Not officially.
Oh wow. What a way to come
well,
out.
That's one way to
You could have been like,
That is, that is iconic. That is so iconic.
Iconic.
iconic fashion.
John's ex-boyfriend. That you're iconic. Iconic.
Come on the show, sis. We'll interview you.
Stop! No.
A legend. We love legends here at Podcast.
We love Oh my god, we should invite all the people we've had sex with on the show. I'm totally kidding.
No!
Renee was shook. He said, "Bitch, we don't have that many episodes. Stop."
Oh, damn.
I was like, should we just bring the mic to 24 Hour Fitness?
Wow!
Wow.
This is the second time this bitch comes from
Wait,
me.
I'm questioning. Wait, but are our mics waterproof?
That's
Like, will they be fine in the showers and the sauna?
well. Yeah, I would get mine specifically for the steam room. So.
Wow.
Man, I'm struggling to find the lie.
Okay, so that was the question. We'll be back with minutes
We're
of
gonna
color.
move on.
Trash, 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 trash.
And we're back.
Bitch, are you trying to take my moment?
No
Because it's all about me.
No one can
and
take what wasn't
my
yours.
praise. Okay, darling, thank you.
But it
So
wasn't
scurry
yours.
off to the little corner, darling. Okay, thank you. It's all about the star. The star's here. So, all my lovelies, all my lovelies, all my listeners out there, my listeners who listen to me,
Your-
who tune in for
Just
me.
yours.
Okay, bitch, they can be your listeners, so I'll leave the show and see how many of your listeners you still have, ho. Let's do that.
Wow. Oh, okay. Well, let's do it then.
Okay, bitch. Have fun. So I'll send the audio files to you. As I thought.
So we're gonna start. So I got something heavy coming up, but we're gonna start light. We're gonna start with fashion.
Fashion.
And the feminine beauty.
And so so this week is New York's Fashion Week, which is the most iconic fashion week in all of America. So all of the fashion world has descended upon New York. Have you been paying attention to any specific lines?
Excited for this section. We're going to talk like this because
Okay.
and no one in the fashion world has an English accent or has an American accent.
Yes, this is
I
how they all
saw-
talk.
I saw Christian Siriano,
Ooh.
and
Did you like his body of
it
work?
was quite lovely. It looked good on the bodies. The color was very good. The models looked very ravishing. They looked delightful.
Very ravishing.
And the
You see what
wolves-
Coco Rocha was wearing?
I don't know her. She was
white
famous
one.
in 2013.
She wore the purple. She wore the purple lipstick that Naomi dragged her for. The iconic moment. Check your lipstick before you come and talk to me.
How sad is it that your iconic moment is getting dragged? How does that feel, Renee?
Am I getting
What?
No.
Oh.
No, I mean, what? What? Who said that? Who said that? Anyway, no, I saw Christian Siriano and I thought it was quite beautiful. Like, I also saw a few other like pictures kind of floating around Tumblr, like of the men's fashion, and I'm kind of bored by it, to be honest with you. Like, I wish that men's fashion designers kind of like stepped it up, because I just feel
That's
like
always like the thing is that men's fashion is always less. I
I want it to be more avant-garde per se, and I want it to be on par with the women's fashion.
Like on part of like Andrew Christian, Marco.
Did you just get the fuck, boy?
I was partial to Rihanna's Puma, Fenty, Pussy.
God damn it, Baze.
She's the one that had the runway that was like the pink mountains and shit, right?
Yeah, she came in on. She rode through on a motorcycle on the back of a motorcycle.
Rihanna
like
says been being that bitch for the last week. Sis has been going off. Go oof.
Yeah. Do go off, Rihanna.
Do go oof.
I really like a lot of their looks. It was very like late 90s, early 2000s, and I was just like, I've been playing with my fashion a little bit, and it was making me feel like I want to like wear a lot of the women's stuff that they had. That was really.
Baze is really the only person that has like a sense of fashion, because my idea of fashion is like wearing a jockstrap with jeans and a shirt, and
That's fashion.
That's fashion.
in a way, it's like bathhouse fashion, I guess.
Fashion.
Bathhouse chic.
Oh, categories bathhouse chic.
Wow.
Bathhouse bougie.
Like somebody walks into the room and you're like, ooh, yes, very bathhouse chic. I almost said
Yes.
bathhouse bougie.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
My girl
Anyway,
bathhouse
but
and
yeah.
That is bathhouse and bougie.
Bad in parentheses house and bougie.
Oh my
Bath and
god.
bougie.
Bath and bougie. My bitch is bath and bougie.
Bye.
Yeah, John, Renee, anything you guys been looking at and seeing?
You're asking. Never mind.
I like I mean, it's not her line, but I like Rihanna's Fenty commercial. That's really good.
Oh, yeah, I did like it.
The
I did
Fenty
like
Beauty.
Yeah, but
Let's just talk about it because why not?
We'll get into that because
Okay. I'm sorry.
I want to get over this like really dark topic that we have to talk about.
Really dark
topic.
Really dark top.
So. Oh wait, let me not do an accent. That's probably not appropriate. So in New Hampshire, a young biracial 8-year-old biracial boy was hung from a tree by some like white teenagers. He apparently his mom was like giving them the benefit of the doubt on Facebook. She says, "So my son is being flown to Dartmouth after a 14-year-old kid decided to hang him from a tree. I don't care if this was a so-called accident or not. My son almost died because of some little teenage kids. Some shit teenage kids is doing. Okay, just keep him in your prayers." Then his grandmother came forward and said that she'd heard what was being said or whatever. Or no. One of his siblings had come and told her that they were targeting him. They started calling him racial epithets.
Slurs.
Yes, racial slurs. And started throwing sticks and rocks at his legs. And then they started playing with the rope from a tire swing. And then put the rope over his head and pushed him off a picnic table. And he was able eventually to get free, but they didn't help him. He had to like get himself off of the rope.
Yeah, he like swung 3 times and none of them stepped in to help.
Yeah. So the police are like saying that the kids should be protected, that they shouldn't have to be affected for the rest of their life for a mistake like this. But I think 14 years old is more than old enough to know better about lynching people and calling them racial slurs. Like they didn't just get that from nowhere, and I don't think that behavior is something you grow out of.
Right.
I just want to warn anyone who's going to look up this article because the picture's kind of graphic, I think. Mm-hmm. It's really sad, and you can see the marks on the neck and you can see the tears running down his cheeks. It's really horrifying.
Yeah. I just think those little shits. Never mind. Let me not say that. But I'll just
all
say.
I gotta say is white people are evil. Stop teaching your kids to be evil. Like, stop doing this. I hope the kids go to jail for life. I mean, I just feel like there's only I don't know. I just feel like we say this all the time, but it's just like racism is something that's taught. It's inherited. Mm-hmm. And for people that say that, oh, racism's gonna die out with old people. Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah.
And
the article. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The article made a point to bring up the fact that someone like Mike Brown doesn't have like the rest of his life to kind of
figure it out.
To figure out if he basically POC, especially black kids, aren't allowed to make mistakes, and like their like livelihood is at stake because of that. and like, even if they don't make mistakes per se, they're already vilified. And so it's just like, it's very much a double standard. Like, oh, these are just, with white people, it's like, oh, these are just kids, like into their 30s. Like, oh, that boy's just a kid. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. But then like,
yeah, I remember
black kids,
when
black kids like automatically. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I remember when that Olympic guy, like the 35-year-old or whatever, who was in Brazil, and they were just like, Ryan. They were like, he's just a kid. I was like, that is a full grown ass man. He's old enough to be president, bitch. Like, stop playing.
Oh shit, he is old enough to be president.
I was like, are you serious? Like, that nigga is damn near on Social Security, and y'all calling him a kid?
35 or 33. But yeah, I think it's like costing the lives of POC. This thought process of like, oh, white people are kids, but like people of color, they're guilty automatically once they're teenagers, and any mistakes like are a sign of like you're not going to change for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
and like it can cost your life.
I just want to say, like, y'all just keep up with this shit, because the chief is not releasing any information about, you know, the investigation or anything really. The police chief. Chief Chase is his name. And, you know, they're just hoping that this is going to go away and these kids are just going to get to go back to their lives, and they should not be allowed to do that. They need to be doing something, but not being free walking out amongst human beings. When they're out here like lynching people, like that's a very intentional thing. That's not you don't like, we'll get into that with PewDiePie later. You don't accidentally do this shit. Like, you don't get to do things that are racist, and then people are like, oh wait, I know they did this racist thing, but that's not what they really are. Like, if we can't judge you by your actions, what the fuck can we judge you by?
Right.
Anyway, moving forward. Somebody, which one of y'all put this story about the computer scanners that can tell if you're gay?
Oh, that's me.
Okay. Explain to us.
The computer can tell if you're gay. So it's AI, right?
Wait, Renee, hold on 1 second.
What?
Siri, am I gay?
Here's the contact.
Oh, never mind.
She's like, here are your most recent searches on
Never mind. Whoops.
He's like, Rakeem, you're a flaming faggot. So there's this AI that was created that basically scans photos and was scanning photos of hundreds of thousands of people on dating websites to figure out whether they're gay or not. And so like the thought process behind that was like they wanted to create something to kind of avoid somebody else creating something that could harm people, that the AI would identify as gay, but which is like, that logic is kind of stupid to me. Like, oh, we're creating this because we don't want like people to get it into the wrong hands, but you're probably inspiring people to create this by like coming out with it. And apart from that, they only studied white folks. And like, I'm sorry, but white gays are just, I don't need AI for that. Like, they're really easy to spot. They're like incredibly easy to spot. Like, you know what patterns, you know
not necessarily
what they're wearing. Like, are white gays on dating sites though?
Well, I mean,
but
if you're on a dating site, they'd be
white. Can you not?
Gay anyway? I don't know. I mean, the way I smell a white. If I just like sniff the air and I smell denial and privilege and meditation, then I'm like, oh, must be one within 200 feet. Like, got it.
Oh my god.
Detected.
Okay, so is that wait? So who put this South Park thing, which I actually kind of love? There's this.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, so South Park. Okay, so South Park is coming out with a video game. I don't know what the fuck it's called. I'm so sorry. I should click on this link, but I'm just so excited about this. South Park is making a video game, and the difficulty of the video game is going to be determined by like the skin color. So the easy mode is actually like a white character, and as you go to very
South Park,
hard,
the fractured but whole.
Like the what? The fractured hole.
The fractured,
but hole.
WHOLE.
Fractured but B-U-T. Whole, WHOLE.
I'm triggered. The concept is like if you choose easy mode, your character is automatically white, and then as you go up in difficulty level to very hard, your character gets darker skin. And at first I was like, what the fuck? But then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, this is a brilliant concept. I'm loving
this concept personally. And
I was like, I'm here for this. I'm gonna actually probably give them my coins because low key South Park is problematic as shit. However, that South Park game that was out like in the 90s, that went off.
See, white people, this is how you do it. I love it.
This is how you do it. This is how you introduce. Go ahead.
No. I think, I totally get this idea, and I'm here for that. But I wouldn't give them cookies just based on this, because
you don't have to. I'm gonna give them cookies.
Go ahead. More than welcome. But I would say based on like the way that they treat minorities and like some of these issues on their show, I'm just like, I mean, I get the point that they're trying to make, and like, yeah, this is kind of like, I think, spot on, but like a lot of the shit, like when you consider their show, is really fucked up, and a lot of their politics as well.
I've never watched the show, so I can't go off of that. But
yeah, I'm really looking at this. So this, that's valid, but like. And South Park has done some really fucked up shit, which is why when I said like at first I was kind of like, because South Park has done some really like weird shit, but like, I think that this is a brilliant way to introduce the concept. And the thing is, you don't have a choice. Like that's just what it is. So like,
their like fan base is a bunch of like white.
And that's the people that need this message. That's the people who need to
right.
Like, that's what I'm here for.
And I went on
like,
Reddit.
There's a lot of people, like, there's a lot of preaching to the choir, but, like, there is a value in, like, preaching to people who don't necessarily see it the way that, you do.
Yeah.
Sure.
And, like, shout out to the writers, like, for doing that, because I think that, I don't want to say, like, oh, like, I'm going to give you, like, cookies, whatever, for doing the right thing, but considering their audience and some of the feedback I've seen, because the way I kind of gauge the feedback for this is I go to the white people's favorite site, which is reddit.com, and I looked at what they were saying, and oh, sis, they are pissed. Good. But I was just like, that means you're doing the correct thing. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Go off. I will be playing.
If it makes white people uncomfortable, there's usually a reason why, and it's usually a good one. Usually, I won't say all the time. I wanted to talk about this last week, but Chloe Bennett from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., somebody called her out for changing her name, which her original name was Wang, right. But she changed her name she's biracial, she's half white and half Chinese. She changed her name from Chloe Wang to Chloe Bennett, and somebody was like, well, why are you doing this? And she was like, well, listen, sis, a girl's gotta eat. And unfortunately, Hollywood was not coming for me when I was presenting when I had an Asian name. So I changed my name to Bennett, and now I have a job. So, and like, wow, that's a commentary like on two things. I feel like on one, it's just like about like a lot of people are very judgmental towards people of color in the spotlight, and they're like, oh, well, you're not like perfect, and you're not doing this, and you're not performing like the way that I want you to perform. But like, people don't understand that people like, this is people's jobs, and people gotta eat. Like, if you want to be successful, sometimes you gotta do some shit that's not always like ideal. And changing her name was one of them. Like, it's great to have principles, but if you can't eat, you know what I mean, you can't eat your principles. So it's just like so I mean, you can't eat your principles if you're over 18.
You know what?
Anyway,
let me stop.
But then it's also a commentary on Hollywood and like how, about how like they're constantly trying to have white people play Asian people, and Asian people are like, I think the least represented. I think, no. I think actually Latinx people are a little less represented than Asian people. It's like Black, Asian, then Latinx people.
Probably Middle Eastern after that.
So I thought it was great that it was a great way for someone who's in the system to be like, I'm working in the system, and this is how I'm doing it because Hollywood is racist as shit, and this is what I've been doing. Right. So I thought that was great.
Also, mind your fucking business. Like, damn. Like, I don't. Sorry, that was the wine talking. Go ahead.
Moving right along. Maria Sharapova, sis. Maria Sharapova.
Oh God. Maria Sharapova.
Anna Sharapova.
Bye. So
same thing.
Yeah, let's just go and call her Anna Sharapova. She out here. She wrote a book. I forgot what it's called, and it don't even really matter.
Well, she didn't write it.
She didn't write it. I didn't really read any. I read like literally what she said about
50
Serena
Shades of
Williams,
Male.
and I just didn't even care about the rest.
Well, I'm not. Well, I'm just being a bitch because I think she has a ghostwriter. Like everyone wants to talk about how black people aren't smart to write enough their own books, so to write their own books. So I'm going to say she had a ghostwriter. But anyway, continue.
Yes, she basically said that she feels like Serena hates her since I guess she beat Serena like in 2004, and after that happened, Serena was crying because she was frustrated, and I guess Anna was it? Wait, we just call her Anna? I forgot what her name is already.
Maria.
Oh, there we go.
Whatever. Who cares?
Anna Maria Sharapova. Came out and said that, like, I don't know. She said that she saw her crying and that Serena has hated her ever since then. She's also said that, like, what people don't understand is that Serena is really imposing and muscular and very large in person. When everyone who's ever seen Serena in real life has said that she's actually significantly smaller in real life than she looks on TV. And, like, that makes sense because everyone is smaller in real life than they are on TV. And also, Serena is, like, 3 or 4 inches shorter than Maria Sharapova. So it's just like, girl, what? But it really goes down to like misogynoir and like her positioning herself as this like fragile white girl against this hulking black monster. And people fall on that a lot, and they do that with black women a lot. Is they deny them their womanhood and they call them men, or they call them they reference ways in which they're not feminine, in which they're masculine. Right. And so she's doing this thing with her. But the gag is, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you will still have lost 18 matches in a row, and you will still never be better than Serena, and you won't even be on her level because you've never even been. You beat her twice. What, like a decade ago? And you've been on drugs, and you still couldn't beat her while you were on drugs.
Thank you. I was about to say, she had the fucking super soldier serum that Captain America had and still lost. The last time Maria Sharapova beat Serena Williams was in 2004 at the WTA Championships. Let me read to you the times that Serena Williams has beat her since 2004. Australian Open 2005, Australian Open 2007, Miami Masters 2007, Charleston 2018, Wimbledon 2010, Stanford 2011, Madrid Masters 2012, Olympic Tennis 2012, WTA Championships 2012, DOHA 2013, Miami Masters 2013, Madrid Masters 2013, FORG 2013, Brisbane 2014, Miami Masters 2014, Australian Open 2015, Wimbledon 2015, and Australian Open 2016. So,
nice
bitch, that's not a rivalry.
Sweaty.
That's a beat down, bitch. She's a rival in your goddamn head. You are trying to be the Gary to her Ash, and she is not it, sis. She's not the one. So, like, you're not it. You're not the Gary to her Ash. You're not the Sasuke to her Naruto. Shut the fuck up. Like, you're not there. You're mediocre. You're washed up. You're not talented. You're not amazing. You're not a superstar. You don't do anything great. The only thing that you do is just gain beauty contracts because people think you're white and you're like Ivanka Trump and you're like non-harming or whatever. But actually, you need help, sis, because you're obsessed with her in your head. You're going to lose. You're not going to succeed. You're not going to do well. You're not going to survive. You're not going to accomplish anything. You're not going to win. Serena is going to do that. And on top of that, if you were that great, you would have won the U.S. Open when that Serena wasn't there, but you weren't. And Miss Sloane Stevens, I think that's her name, or whatever her name. I'm sorry. Yeah, she went off. You didn't. So, Serena wins. You lose. Oh, shit. You will lose. That was what was
cracking me up. It was just like, you couldn't even beat the next black girl. Like, you worried about Serena Williams, and another one that came up while you was worried about Serena. So, also just shout out to Sloane. Like, she got $3.7 million for winning the U.S. Open. I just love black women so much. Y'all are amazing.
They asked her, they said, "Oh, do you want to win again?" And she said, "Bitch, did you see the check that she handed me? The fuck? Like, of course I want to win." Go off, young queen. And good job to you, Venus. You did a great job as well. And 3 or 4 of the people in the semifinals were black women in tennis.
Let's talk Fenty Beauty. This shit has me really wanting, like, I don't even like wear makeup, but like it makes me want to go wear some makeup. Like, I really want to. I'm about to. Like, I know she got my skin tone now, so like I'm running to the what is it called? What's the beauty store? There we go. Sephora. Got me running to Sephora.
Rakim. Rakeem, what was that meme that you posted?
Which one?
But it was like when you're at Sephora and you see
and you, when you're at
top
Sephora,
in
you
line
see
for
your
Fenty.
top in line for Fenty.
Oh, I saw that. That was funny.
Because I've never worn makeup in my life, but I swear to God, I almost called John and like, girl, beat my face because this shit here, like, it looks so good. And what I loved about it, what I thought was so good, even for the lighter tones, she used women of color to represent the lighter tones.
yeah.
So it wasn't like white women for the lighter tones. It was Asian women, like
Light skin.
it was just, it was light-skinned mixed women. Like, it's beautiful. Rihanna says you're doing amazing. Like, the campaign is amazing.
was really into it too.
Yes, I've just never seen people excited about a product like this before, like ever. Like I've never seen so many people excited about makeup. I've never seen so many women or just people in general on Twitter talking about how they feel represented. Like, and I just want to say, like, and this is just the starting launch, you know what I mean? Like 40 different shades. Like, she's going to do more, and I've heard that her plan is to do a lot more darker shades in the launch. And the fact that she had so many women, and then you look at her ad campaign, and she had a woman in a hijab. Like, she had like black women, she had albino women, she had Asian women, she had queer. Also, okay, somebody said something like, "Oh, well, how do you, like, Rihanna didn't have queer women?" And I'm like, how do you know,
like,
from a fucking
you know they
commercial?
life? Like,
How the fuck do you know?
Right.
Like, Rihanna's amazing. Honestly, I want to be her. Like,
I have a feeling, like, I've always had this feeling that, and see, I don't have this feeling about Beyonce, even though I would definitely love to be her friend.
What?
But, like, I would have this feeling that I'm going to be friends with Rihanna one day, and I just know it's going to happen. That's all.
I'm kind of scared to be friends with Rihanna because I feel like because you guys know how I am when I smoke. I've only done it like 5 times, but the times I have, I've been like on the floor. And I feel like Rihanna has weed that is like grown in Dragonstone, and like, you know, the blunts are lit by like fucking Drogon and shit like that. And like, I feel like I'm not ready for the level of high I'm going to be with Rihanna, but I am ready for it at the same time. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
It's some mess. It's the mess that I witnessed on Twitter. So one of my favorite porn stars, XL. I'm like, he's so fine, and he's so smart. You know, just follow his Twitter. He's so smart.
Really, if you listen to the show,
XL. Anyway, so he like called out like racism in the porn industry, and he posted a message that he got from Tyler Reed, who is like he's like some white porn guy.
Oh, the tweet is unavailable.
No, it's not. I just clicked it.
of course it is.
But basically, like, I don't know all of what XL said, but this Tyler guy refers to him as sassy, and he brags about how he fucks men of color on his site all the time, and he refers
looks like an
to
egg.
them as he said, "Don't play the race card." Because and if you don't think I have enough race models on my site, I don't know what the fuck that means, but same. You should talk to your fellow Americans. They do not want to work with you, and before you come back with some sassy, look carefully, and you will find I am the one fucking guys of color on my site. So yeah, I bet
this guy's disgusting.
So I mean, I'm just always here I'm always here for like exposing like white porn stars racism, because I feel like a lot of people idolize them. And like put them on this pedestal because they're attractive, and like I can't even say can fuck, because a lot of them really can't even do that on screen. But you know, it's just like a lot of these people are gross, and just like, you know, just be careful about idolizing people, because, you know, I'm sure even like XL might be gross, but like I'm hoping he's not, and so far he's not shown himself to be. So I still, you know, but anyway.
He's Stan Legends?
Yeah, I mean, XL is actually like he constantly talks about racism. He addresses it in the industry a lot. So I think, you know, that's a little bit legendary. A lot of people are very silent about things that are going on in their industry. Right. Crazy shit that I'm seeing on Twitter as well, which this is actually not just Twitter, but one Kanika Jenkins was this is crazy. So she was found dead in a freezer in a hotel in Crown Plaza, the O'Hare Crown Plaza hotel in Chicago, and it like is this big ass thing on Twitter. Like everyone's like investigating the shit out of it, and like it seems to be like everybody but the cops is like investigating the shit out of this. The cops were like, oh, it's just like they were saying to her mother that she locked herself in there, but the thing is, she was at a party on the 9th floor of the hotel, and the freezer was in the basement. And not only was it like this is a freezer, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a walk-in freezer, so like the doors are heavy and big. They're claiming that she drunkenly wandered down into the basement and locked herself in this freezer and turned it on all the way to all the way low. That's what they're claiming. And so she.
That's like something.
I mean, I don't think anybody's locking themselves in a heavy door ass freezer. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck are you even? And so, like, also, like, there's just like this whole story about like one of her friends. Like, apparently, people are saying her friend set her up. Her mom hadn't seen her since Friday night. She was found on Sunday morning in the freezer. Her mom and the sister were like, the sister had talked to her 1:30 a.m. on Saturday, and she was seen at 3:30, I think, on camera in the lobby, drunkenly stumbling around in the lobby. And it's just like, it's just wild because the mom went to the hotel 3 times and the hotel refused to look for her. And the 3rd time, I think the cops made them look for her, and then that's when they found her in the freezer. So the mom was like, is pissed, understandably, because she's like, maybe y'all could have found her sooner if you had just listened to me the first time I came to the hotel. And then now the cops are saying some shit too. So it's just like, I think was the one thing I do really but one thing I really like about this is that like the internet's attention is putting pressure on the cops to actually like do their fucking job and like find out what happened to this girl. And it's also a lesson to like be careful about like, I don't know what happened, but it looks a lot like one of her friends set her up. And it's just like, really be careful about the people you call your friends, because a lot of them are not necessarily that.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, because she was on Facebook Live, and like you can hear for like 1 second her saying help or something like that, and then she turns up the music or something. Like, it's really fucking crazy. Like, it's kind of, I don't know. This is one of those stories that like you read and then it's like, what the fuck? And you almost like don't believe it when you first read it because it sounds so fucking crazy. But just be careful, and hopefully we get to they get to the bottom of this, because this is some fucked up shit. Like, because I've heard that they did all this because they owed the guys some money, so they let them.
They were trying to sell them,
like, sexually assault their friend.
To them. Yeah, it's just crazy as hell. Like, there was just a lot of commentary. There's a lot of weird stuff being said on Facebook. People are getting exposed. It's just like last night I was reading about it all last night, and like that was such a mistake, because then I tried to go to bed and I was struggling to sleep because it was just keeping me up. But I hope they find what happened to that little girl. Kate Winslet, who was my fave, but girl, she came out and defended her working with Woody Allen and Roman Polanski. For those of you who do not know, Woody Allen's daughter came out and said that her father had molested her as a child when she was 3, I think, 2 or 3, and a lot of people in Hollywood are obviously like turning their head away from that and not really like acknowledging it. Roman Polanski was convicted for I'll just say sexual assault, because what that man did to that 13-year-old girl was just horrific. And he was actually convicted, but he fled the country, and he's actually not allowed here, or I think the UK, and he was held in France. I don't remember what country, but he was actually in he was actually on house arrest because he went to a country that like was like trying to extradite him to here. Not extradite. What is the word? Is that the
No,
word?
that is the correct word. I think that's the correct word.
Look,
yeah.
If it's not, just don't drag me. I'll figure it out. I'll Google it later. So he did that. People are still working with him. Actors all over the world are still working with him.
ScarJo loves working with Woody Allen.
Woody Allen, Roman Polanski. People like sign petitions. It really hurt my heart because a lot of my white faves like love them, and like Cate Blanchett has worked with Woody Allen. She also
I'm gonna ignore you said that.
She also
I'm gonna ignore you
signed
said
the
that.
petition to like drop the charges against Roman Polanski. I think she removed her name from it, so like that's a saving grace. But she still worked with Woody Allen. You know, people are still like Selena Gomez just signed on to a project with him, and Elle Fanning just signed on to a project with him.
And that just sounds so creepy. Woody Allen working with Selena Gomez. It just sounds really creepy. Yeah, that just sounds so fucked.
Who is Selena Gomez?
You know
Who
what?
is she?
I just saw the name on the list. I
What
didn't
does she
really know
do?
who that was, but I was just like, I guess she's somebody. Yeah.
It just stuck out.
I was like,
Yeah.
I
don't
was
know
like,
who that is.
Selena Gomez. That's a pretty name. That reminds me of Selena, the singer.
Apparently, they decided to give her a time cover because she hit 100 million Instagram subscribers. But the other people that were on that issue were like Oprah, like, and actually, let's just go with that because everyone else people will drag. But Oprah, like, you're not on the same level. You never will be anyway.
Yeah, well, it was really, it's really disappointing to look down that list of everybody who signed the petition that tried to kind of let Roman Polanski go, or like kind of just say like, you know, like turn a blind eye to it. Monica Bellucci was in it. Was on it. Kate Blanchett. I'm so mad. Like everybody that I read, I was like, oh my god, y'all really don't give a fuck.
Who is that? That sounds like a sandwich. I'm hungry as fuck.
A
Like
lot
a
of people-
Bellucci sandwich
a
from
lot
the
of people
deli?
keep their names
Look,
off
Monica
the list.
Bellucci. Sorry, go ahead.
So like, I'm
Okay.
not like I'm not saying that that's great. They shouldn't put their name on the list in the first place, but you know, I like we stand change here at Podcast of Color, and we believe in second chances sometimes.
Stand
We
change.
do stand
stand
change. I love a change. I love a changed person. I love we
stand
stand
growth.
redemption. I love redemption.
We
I
stand
love
character growth.
and I love redemption. And so, you know, I'm really here for people that actually do the change. Not like that fake shit Katy Perry was doing a few months ago, but like some real shit.
Oh my god, I knew
But
you were
like some
going
real,
to say
like some real, like I'm just gonna actually change. I'm not gonna do a whole show and performance. I'm just gonna change and then let y'all see it. I'm not gonna tell y'all about it. I'm just let y'all see it. So, anyway, moving right along. Monroe Bergdorf gave an interview with what's this site called? Splinter News. And she basically like broke it down, and it was just she's just another one of those people that like I've not heard. I love to hear her talk because she talks and so she speaks in such a way that commands attention, and everything she says is just amazing. So she says this one thing, and it's about Lorde because Lorde spoke and basically said the same exact thing that she said, but Lorde was praised for it, and she says this, and I quote. It all boils down to privilege, doesn't it? If a white person speaks about race, then they're woke. If they're attractive, then they're woke bae. And if it's a black person speaking about racism, then they're angry. And so it just speaks to, you know, the response that she got. Like, you know, Lorde was praised for it, and she was demonized as
Lorde was talking about. Oh no, I was answering John's question.
Oh yeah, she was like white people are responsible.
Lorde was spoken
she was
out
like
against
white people
racism.
are like racist. I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was good. I liked it. I was like, we stand legends.
He was just talking about intersectional feminism.
She was, exactly, and she talked about how she has privilege over women of color.
She's
stuff
our
like
woke
that.
queen.
But it gives like, again, it's like a fucking double standard, and it's just like, well, when white people talk about race, it's objective, like they have an objective point of view, but then when like people of color talk about race, it's like, oh, you're angry, you're taking this personally, or like you're like, you know, you're not seeing it from like an objective point of view, and it's just like you can't see race from an objective point of view. Like everyone either benefits from it or
hurt by it.
Or is hurt by it. Exactly. So it's not, you can't be objective when it comes to that.
Did you guys? So moving on. Sorry, I'm like just trying to move through this list because a lot of these things I want to talk about a lot of this stuff.
Do it.
So this girl on Twitter did Hurricane Irene inspired makeup, and she got dragged on Twitter for it. Her name is
Irma?
Callie Harlow on Twitter. Her @ is Cal Elizabeth 29, and
do I even have to ask the question?
Of course she is.
I don't.
She is. And blonde too. Blonde to boot.
The old POC proverb is.
So she has like a picture of like Hurricane Irma on Irene. Sorry,
It's Irene.
No, it's
Irma. No, you said Irene first.
Sorry,
I mean
Irma.
Yeah, you said
sorry.
Irene.
Hurricane
I'm sorry.
Irma, and then like next is like her, and she has like some like flayed like white, and then it's blue, and then it's like yellow, and then right above her eye is red. And she says, "Remember, in the eye of the storm, God remains in control." And it's just like, girl, just promote your eye makeup and go. Like, you didn't need to do all of this. I was like, girl, you a YouTuber with all this extraness. Like, I swear to God. I swear to God. I don't even know. It killed me though. Like, everyone was mad, but I just was like, girl, you doing a lot.
It's wrong as fuck.
But you know what it reminds me of? Somebody posted a picture of what's that one porn star? I can't remember his name, but he posted a picture of him in his underwear on a balcony. He was like, it was like a 9/11 from like 3 years ago, and he was like remembering 9/11 on this day. Never forget. No! And it was like.
It reminds me of when Misha Barton posted that picture of her talking about
on a
Black Lives Matter, but was on a yacht.
It just cracks me. What the fuck? Honestly, I just laugh. Like, I can't even. It reminds me when Pulse happened, and there was like this white gay that did like the splits and the Speedo on like, you know how like in WeHo there's like that rainbow crosswalk. Yeah, he was like on that crosswalk doing the splits, and he was like, "Never forget the 49 lives that were lost." And I was just like, "What the fuck?"
I don't understand.
I just was. Jesus.
Oh my God, Baze! Have you seen that Instagram account called like it's called like Basic Gays or something like that?
The dolls.
But it's like with the dolls, and then like Logo posted it, and I was like, the irony of Logo posting this when these are the people that y'all cast in your shows.
Jesus. Like,
Jesus.
So speaking of, I'm gonna let you go off, Rakeem. Speaking of YouTubers, because I mentioned YouTube. PewDiePie came out here and said some said nigga, I guess.
You have to remind
I just want to make sure. I did say YouTube at some point. I wasn't talking about a YouTuber, but I said YouTube. Came out and said, like, I guess he was playing a game. He was gaming, and he said called somebody a nigger, and like all his little, he was on a stream. All his little crusties, all the white male gamers
Crusties
came out of their crusty ass man caves to tell us the people that this is actually not racism. You can actually say nigger, and you can call somebody a nigger.
Can I play the video, or is that maybe too much?
Let's just tell the story.
Okay, so PewDiePie is actually the highest paid YouTuber like in existence. He was also kind of like steeped in controversy because he's the one that was saying like the anti-Semitic, like Nazi, Jewish jokes things or whatever, right? But he was like on camera talking about, and he said, "Oh my God, why are you being such a fucking nigger?" or something like that, or whatever. When he was frustrated in playing a game, and I think this happened either 2 days ago or yesterday or something like that. And the internet, from what I've seen, or I've seen two camps. I've seen people kind of like light up to kind of support him. And I think this kind of talks on or encroaches on a bigger topic, which is racism in the gaming community. And I think this shit is so disgusting because, first of all, the familiarity in which he said it was just like, he said later in the stream, "Oh, I forgot that I was streaming," which means that you didn't think you were being recorded, which means that like when you're not being recorded, you say that, like you say you're being a fucking nigger. Like, and so what that means is you fucking hate black people. You already established that you like don't care about Jewish people and like their pain with the Holocaust. But I think overall the bigger problem is like you have these like white men, these white straight men who go on gaming sites and they sit there and they want to talk about, you know, how like everyone's like a social justice warrior and I'm just trying to speak my mind and I'm just trying this and I'm frustrated. But I have a few words for y'all and I'm fucking pissed about this because I play games and I have to fucking deal with this shit all the time. Like when I play on my PS4 and I play Overwatch and shit like that, I played once. And I had to fucking mute my mic because the first person that I played with that wasn't a friend of mine that I had the mic on said faggot and shit like that. And I said, well, you know that I'm gay, right? And they shut the fuck up. So here's my little words for y'all. I think all you like white, bored, ugly ass, like don't have anything good going for you, no job having, no money in the bank having ass, like I'm gonna sit in my mom's basement having ass bitches. I'm fucking sick of y'all. I'm sick of you guys normalizing fucking racism. I'm sick of you normalizing misogyny. I'm sick of you normalizing hate. I'm sick of you normalizing anti-Semitism. I'm sick of you normalizing all of this fucking bullshit. No, it's not freedom of speech. You guys don't seem to understand that freedom of speech means that you're not going to jail for what you're saying. It doesn't mean you won't catch these black ass nigger hands. It doesn't mean you won't catch it doesn't mean you won't catch these black ass nigger feet. It doesn't mean that you won't catch these fucking screenshots that I took this morning and sent to y'all's jobs. It doesn't mean that you won't fucking catch any kind of consequences. So you can sit there and say what you fucking want to, and you can sit there and try to act like, oh well, you know, he didn't say it in a racial way. Tell me how you say nigger without being in a racial way.
Y'all don't even make no goddamn sense.
Thank you. Me and Babe,
go outside and call somebody nigger.
There's a difference. There's
it uses the hard R, right? Like,
but hold on. Even if he didn't, and thank you, John, because I was about to touch on that as well. Because I'm pissed. Because even if he didn't say the hard R, there's not a difference. You are white. If you were not born black in this country, if your ancestors were not slaves, you don't have the right to fucking say that word. I'm so fucking tired of this. Don't fix your fucking lips to say that. I don't care if it's a hard R or an A or whatever you think. It's I want to be cool, whatever. It's not. You're not us. You won't ever be us. We don't fucking want you. You can't come to the cookout. You can't do anything fucking else right. You can't do anything else because half of y'all end up like Maria Sharapova. You're not good at the games that you fucking play. So shut the fuck up.
That's why he even called them a nigger. That's what I'm talking about. Is like y'all can't handle anybody being better than you. You can't handle it. That's why y'all will never really, and not all of y'all. No, I'm not talking about everybody. But for those of you that think like that. That's why you will never prosper, because you can't even prosper in a world where you have the advantage. You're basic now.
Whoa! You're on the easiest setting, boo.
So you will really be losing.
It is equal. I just don't understand how, in the heat of the moment, the first thing that comes to your mind is a racial slur.
Can I ask you a question, John and Renee? When y'all get upset, the first thing that comes to your mind is to call someone a nigger?
I'm like,
not.
That's not even the first thing that comes to my mind. And I'm black, bitch.
Like, and furthermore, why do y'all want to say it? Knowing the history of the word, knowing what it means, why do you think it's cool to say it? Why do you think it's funny to fucking say it? Because you're racist. And calling out racism, I'm sorry, babes, is not the same thing as being racist. If y'all are so offended about being called racist, don't fucking say things that are racist. If y'all don't want to be called racist so much, then don't fucking say things. If y'all think that we're snowflakes and we're triggered and blah, 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 and it's just words and words don't mean things, then why are you fucking triggered when I call you out then, bitch? Shut the fuck up, bitch. Suck a dick. I'm so over these.
No,
I'm so over.
Dick.
I'm sorry, Dick, sweetie. I'm so sorry.
Dick,
but
sweetie.
No, but I'm tired of these people because it's so annoying because it affects me on a fucking daily basis. When I get off of work and I'm working, these 6 long ass hours Zoom with white people don't want to deal with shit, and I have to come home, and then I have to sit there and go on my mic and then be deal with being called a nigger. No, fuck that shit. And on top of that, he's the highest paid YouTuber in existence, which means that he's making more money than everyone. He has money in the bank. He has millions in the bank. And I've seen people defend him and defend him and defend him. And at what point are we gonna have the conversation in the gaming community that it's not safe for people of color to be there? It is not safe for queer people to be there. It doesn't feel comfortable, and I'm kind of drunk and I'm annoyed and I'm a little bit emotional about it because it's like I'm tired of having to go on my PSN and like have my friends tell me that they don't feel comfortable talking with people because they feel like they're gonna be called a faggot. I'm tired of like going on PSN and having my friends not feel comfortable because they're gonna be called a nigger. You play video games because you want to fucking escape from things, and you have to sit there and then deal with the shit that you have to deal with when you're listening to the news and CNN. No, fuck that. I'm over it. And people in the gaming community that sit there and you're silent about it, you're the problem. You're even worse than those people because you're not doing anything. Everyone's like, oh my God, if I lived in the civil rights movement, what would I do? You're not doing fucking anything. And I'm sorry I'm going off a lot, but I'm tired of this shit. I hear it all the fucking time. If you want to be a true ally, which is what Renee said in a few episodes ago, we don't fucking need allies. We need accomplices. Say something, do something, report these people. And if you're not going to do it, shut the fuck up, because I have nothing else for you. And I'm done.
I was going to try to go off Keemstar, but I think there was a lot of going off here on today.
I'm sorry. I just had a lot to say about that because this shit, it happens every fucking day, and I'm tired of this shit. Yeah. I'm tired of hearing this.
When you go home and like you want to take a break from this shit and like actually have fun, and then like it's like it's showing up everywhere for you.
Like getting home, like they take off their clothes, they get into their comfortable clothes, and they're like, and maybe they make a cup of tea, maybe a nice little cup of ginger tea, and then they sit down and like they kick up their foot and they turn on maybe, I don't know, what's that game that you play? Yeah, just one foot. And they put Overwatch, and then they put on the thing, and it's like nigger, and they're just like they're relaxed, and then it's just like
I'm tired of fucking losing in Overwatch because I can't go on mic because I'm gonna be called.
I wanted to say real quick to Keemstar at Keemstar on Twitter. He has a big following on Twitter. He's some bearded white guy. Who's like, I guess he's Italian and he relates this to being Italian or whatever. He comes out to say that PewDiePie is not a racist and that he got in trouble for a few years ago for calling somebody a nigger. And when he called them a nigger, it was really racist. But he apologized for that. But he's also sick of people bringing it up every time he gets into an argument with somebody about something. But also he's going to defend PewDiePie's use of the word nigger, because actually, like, he didn't use it in a racist way, the way this guy used it at the time. And I'm just like, girl, you did all this just to say not a goddamn thing. You're not saying shit. You're not saying anything. You came out here to
That's really interesting. Because he's the one that also said that, words don't mean things, but they do mean things when people are directing them at you, do
words
they?
Words don't mean things, but y'all not going to go out and call no random black people niggers. You just won't do it because
bitch ass.
You know words mean things, and you're not this stupid. White people's favorite thing, and I told you, just the microaggression and macroaggression is feigning ignorance. Anyway, Tokyo Tony is just a very interesting person to me. Tokyo Tony, for those of you who don't know, she is Black China's mom. And so, like, I wish she hadn't done this because she's actually really entertaining, but she did go on a rant about, Caitlyn Jenner, and it did go really, it became very transphobic and also homophobic. So I can't really, like, enjoy her fully, but I can just laugh at her. And so, like, she did, like, so people are dragging her because she did, like, this cribs thing where, like, I don't even know where this video came from, but it's, like, a video of her house. And, like, she's at the door and she's like, oh, hi, I'm Tokyo Tony. Welcome to my home. And then, like, she opens the door. She's like, come on in. And as she's opening the door, that shit is screeching at the top of his goddamn logs. I was like, bitch, put some goddamn oil on them hinges, bitch. Oh. And so then she comes into the house and she's like, and like, you just come into the house and it's not even in shot. She's like, and so of course you see some Louis over there, and it's like the camera pans over to like a chair with like 2 Louis Vuitton bag purses, and she's like, of course. I'm Black China's mom. And it's just so funny. It's so extra. It's so funny. She's like, that's just how I live. And it's just like this really funny video because it's just like, you're of course you're going to see Louis Vuittons and things like that. And there's like nothing else. It's just a plant. There's like nothing. It's like a table and like chairs, but like there's like nothing extravagant. Like she's like, you just walk into this basic house and there's like 2 Louis Vuitton bags purposely put out so that you can see them. And she's like, of course there's some Louis Vuitton bags just hanging out over there. Of course.
It's like they were playing spades the other night before, but didn't really clean up everything. Right? So she just put out the Louis bag.
And you wouldn't even have noticed them if she hadn't said anything. Like it was just like, and she like the first thing she says is, you walk into the house, the camera walks into the house. Of course, there's the Louis Vuitton bags over there. Oh my god!
Oh, those are
she's like, of course, I'm Black China's mom. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. We are running short on time. Okay, I definitely want to talk about this. So it looks like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are getting married, and I just want to say that I'm like kind of loving this because Meghan Markle is biracial, and so there's gonna be some black people. Oh, she's biracial, and she's very close to white passing. So I'm not gonna give her a black woman. I will call her biracial. If she chooses to call herself black, I don't know. I haven't heard her say that. I will just call her biracial. Look, I don't like to do that because a lot of biracial people, you call them black and they're like, I'm not black. Don't deny the white side of me. So I don't want to do all that. I don't want to get into all that. I'm just gonna be like, look, girl, she biracial. If she chooses,
okay, PewDiePie,
no. How you gonna do that?
Shook.
How you gonna compare me to PewDiePie? I was saying that this is a biracial
Because
woman,
I just did.
and until I've heard her say that she is a black woman, I have not seen that anywhere. I'm gonna call her biracial, and she's damn near white passing. She's not quite, but damn near. The point is, there's gonna be some biracial ass in Buckingham Palace. Okay, y'all. Okay, I can't wait for them nappy-headed kids to be born. I can't. What? He is good. Don't
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I love being nappy. I'm happy to be nappy.
I know. I didn't.
I don't think he was referring to.
That's not what I meant. I think it's illegal to.
Is
call
it
the
illegal
person's
here
kid
in
nappy
America?
headed, but go off.
In my country, the land of the free. I'm gonna tell Obama.
In my country?
In front of my constitution.
In front of my
Yeah, so I'm really happy about that. Like, a lot of people are actually, a lot of racists in Britain are really upset that he might be marrying a biracial girl. So I'm living for that. I can't wait for this. They better have a Princess Diana ass wedding too. They're probably not going to, but I want them to have a big ass, gigantic ass wedding, and I want the world to see a beautiful biracial girl getting her prince.
Like Northwest. So, Baze, did you see Insecure? Renee, did you see it?
If y'all, I'm really behind. If y'all are gonna talk about
Take out your earphones.
Y'all, there's about to be some spoilers. We forgot to note the spoilers last week. I'm so sorry because we did spoilers and we didn't say that.
Oh, 53. I'm taking a picture of it right now. I just want to say this. Lawrence is trash.
But that was beautiful.
Lawrence is trash. Issa's trash. Molly's trash.
I love all of them.
Everyone is trash.
When they had that conversation, I was hoping they would get back together. And then when they did that montage of them married and having children, I was just like, oh.
That was the show saying this is it. This is all you're gonna get because it's not gonna happen in the damn show.
What point does he even serve now that he's not her man?
He's like the resident fuckboy of the show.
I just feel like if he's not adjacent to her, I just don't see any point in his character. But
well, I mean, valid. But
Molly.
Let's talk about Molly
Molly,
because, girl, I'm
Molly.
pissed. Molly, sis, how you gonna sit up there, get Becky with the good dick, or a nigga with a good dick, or Jaharis with a good dick, and then he gonna sit there and you rode him to death, and he's talking about how he wants to see you, and he got a good job, and then she gonna go back to Dro's married ass. Girl, bye. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Would take you on in. It's powerful. They don't tell you about that. That's what, when you're growing up as a dark-skinned child, you always get the talk from your parents about racism that you're going to encounter when you get out into this world, but they don't never tell you about the light skin power that will draw your ass in. The color
light skin
is real, and the light skin power is real as well. And light skin niggas with curly hair.
Oh.
He has an S curl on, but the thing is, okay, I the more I'm looking at him, I don't know if he's cute
and
because, to me, Dro looks like a baby hammerhead shark to me, and it's he has more teeth than I think a human is allowed to have in his mouth.
To quote New York, he's cute next to gorgeous, and gorgeous is Daniel. So
yes, when she knocked on that door, I said, "Is that Daniel's door?" I said, "Excuse me, what the fuck?" And he let her in. First of all, Issa, you was tripping. He just came on your face. Be grateful.
Blessed,
it's not
that big of a deal. My skin would have been gleaming, bitch. Gleaming.
Bitch, that's a sign of unity. Umoja. Unity, a mess. He coming on her face was the day of Kwanzaa. It was a celebration. It was black love. And she over here talking about, you embarrass me. Bitch, to who? You only embarrass to your damn self. Anyway, and he said, I'm about to come. But when Molly knocked on that door, because here's the thing. If you dating someone in an open relationship or you fucking someone like that, you need to talk to the spouse.
I think, like...
I don't think
he needs to... She needs to talk to the spouse. Like, I don't think she needs to go to the spouse, but I think she should have facilitated a conversation with her through Dro. Like, that should have definitely happened. And, like, now...
When she has the chance.
Like, something ain't right. Something in the milk ain't clean.
When she... Boy, okay. When she had the chance, when they were at the party together, and they ain't say nothing, that to me knows that Candace ain't know nothing. Because Candace would have been like, "Girl, is my husband's dick good? Is he pleasing you?" Like that. None of that happened. Like, girl, Molly, I've been you, girl. You have to get the information. You have to know, and you ain't doing it correct. Like, oh God, I'm so mad at her.
Always get the information with the dick.
Get the information. Okay, girl. Ladies, now let's get information. Like, get the. Like, okay, you need to know. You need to know his dick browser history. You need to know where it's been, who it's been with.
You need to know that. You just need to know if it's attached.
Well, if you
wait,
if his dick is attached. Oh, I was like, you would know that?
But yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Anyway, Renee, you can put your headphones on now.
Real quick, Jordan Peele and Spike Lee are collabing on a movie, which is about a black dude who infiltrated the Klan by using a fellow white officer to have in-person meetings with the Klan while he did all the voice like conversations over the phone and letters and such. So
the only reason I'm here for this is because Jordan Peele is in it.
I think it could be funny. Like, I think like this would be a good comedy, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be real and serious.
This sounds like Quentin Tarantino's like, fuck, I wish I wrote this, but whatever.
So, yeah.
Oh.
So I think it's based off of some.
Huh.
That really is what it sounds like, Rakeem.
Right. I'm like, I can see Quentin Tarantino being so mad.
Another missed opportunity to say nigger in my movie.
God damn it.
Any opportunity. No.
God. I really want Viola Davis to say nigger in this movie. God damn.
Oh, God.
So,
motherfucker.
I guess
he got PewDiePie mad.
But I did. A comedian named Samore got her comeuppance when she tried to come for Cardi B, and she tried to say that Cardi B was not winning. And Cardi B was like, "Well, girl, like I got all this money, I got all this fame. My song is on its way to number 1, y'all. It's on its way to number 1. It's predicted to reach number 1. Yes, could you? I would never have imagined in my life that Cardi B would be topping Taylor Swift on the charts, but here we are. Here we are.
that visual.
Yes. Yeah. So she definitely winning. That's sad that you had to come for her like that, but you know. Whatever. Or if she did come for her, there's some people that suspect that like she just used the video as like a part of the joke and it wasn't directed at Cardi B. I don't really know, but anyway, Cardi B went in and I love Cardi B, and we stand legends here at Podcast of Color. So you know, that's it for Minutes of Color.
We stand legends here. So with that note, we're going to move on to the discourse.
Discoursing. And we are back with the discourse. Renee, what are we doing? Renee? Renee, what are we doing? Guys?
Over here discoursing.
Just over here discoursing. And what we discoursing about today? We're talking about... What?
Hold on, Renee, can you please just do the Lilo and Stitch thing?
Please do it, Renee.
Please.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Why? I'm shy.
We believe in you.
Well, get over it.
I'm a virgin.
Okay. Well,
Where?
bitch, where?
Anyway, we over here discoursing about positions and our relationship to them. So, you guys, what's your relationship to your position?
Oof.
Well, as a registered nerd? No, I'm kidding.
Well, as a
Registered bottom. Registered bottom.
Oh my God, registered bottom.
Wait, should that be the title as a registered bottom?
No, I'm so mad. Well, so this one's kind of difficult because, all right, so let's just break it down a little bit. In the community or in or whatever in like society, you're thought of as kind of either one or the other, right? You're thought of as either like if you're a top, you're strictly a top, and if you're a bottom, then you're strictly a bottom. And then if you have like, if you express yourself in a certain way, or if you have certain gestures or whatever, you're already deemed, or you're certain size, you're already deemed like a bottom. Versus like in other, like, do you know what I'm saying? And like it's kind of the recreating of this thing of like the straight people thing of like, okay, the manly man, that's the top, and that's the guy in control, and like the little like tiny defenseless femme, like she's the one who's the bottom. But when even in straight couples, that's not always true. So
Straight couples have top and bottoms.
yeah, like I know some straight men that are bottoms that like, or
What?
yeah, that like to be,
Fucking shook.
that are like subs, basically, that are subs for their
Yes.
or they like to be pegged. And we just talked about women eating ass. Like,
Also,
come
there's
on.
some straight men that don't have penises and they like to bottom.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, babe.
Drag me.
We
So-
love intersectionality here at Podcast of Color.
Intersex unality.
So yeah, so that's why this whole thing is kind of complicated. But does anybody want to go first?
You.
Fuck.
You did.
No, give me like a minute. No, give me Baze, you go first.
Soldier boy up in this hole. Oh, sorry. Remember 2007?
Listen, get him money.
Do y'all remember 2007? Ooh.
Yes.
Anyway, that was a good year.
That
for
was when
music.
B-Day came out.
That was a good year for music. That
And
was when the
Beyonce,
iconic-
I remember Beyonce doing the Soldier Boy during concert.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yes.
Didn't she? I realized, what's that one dance where like the whip, is it called whip? Now watch me whip. I don't remember. But
Now
anyway,
watch me whip.
no, not the nay, just the whip. I realized that Beyonce came up with that by herself. Like,
How?
have you ever, okay, so you know her performance when she's doing, what is it? It's Ring the Alarm and the intro to Ring the Alarm.
Yes, and the VMAs, and she's like,
She's whipping. She's whipping at the beginning. So whoever, Beyonce, get your coin.
you
Anyway.
anyway, y'all niggas.
So let's see my position. I have a very interesting relationship with my position because I do prefer to bottom, but
Bottom?
people read me as a top
You
frequently.
like it in your pussy.
I'm top passing for some reason. Oh wait, I know why. I'm black and dark skin.
You're black. You're dark skin.
And so it's just interesting, I think, because like there's always been like this expectation for me to be like
Yeah.
a big hulking top, and
Yeah.
there's really not. I feel like I think part of too why I like did not get as much play when I was single is because like I like preferred to bottom. I feel like I need to trust people before I top. Like I don't feel like I can
That's
just top
so-
anyone.
Wait, what does that
That's
mean?
so interesting because
I
it's
need
the
to be
opposite
comfortable
for
with-
me.
I need to be comfortable with you before I can bottom with you. I mean top you. Like
No.
you know what I mean? Like it's easier for me to bottom because I don't have to be hard to do it.
I'm like that with bottoming.
but
like,
I get
I,
really
like, really
nervous
have
and
to-
anxious.
No, that makes sense. No, but keep going,
Yeah,
Baze.
so I get really anxious. Yeah, I was like, bitch, this is my turn. Did you not pass?
No, but I'm just saying we like it's funny that we're on like opposite
Yeah.
end, like we react opposite ends to like certain things. But go ahead.
I'm just playing with you. I just feel like it's easier for me to bottom because like I don't have the pressure of maintaining an erection. Like if I do, it's great. If I don't, it's not necessary because I'm
Right.
bottoming. But
Yeah.
like if I don't, like then the sex doesn't happen, and so I feel more comfortable doing it with somebody that I trust,
Right.
or at least have some type of like. And I guess this is me anyway. This has always been me anyway with sex. Is like I've never been really good with like, just having like anonymous sex. Like though I've always wanted to like really be into that. I've always felt like I've been more like I need to like have some type of I have to be some type of comfortable with you before I can even have sex with you. But like the levels of it is like I need to be even more comfortable with you before I can like be a top.
It's an onion.
Yeah, it's an onion.
Yeah.
There's levels to this shit.
But so race does play a factor in what people consider you as far as your position, right?
Definitely, everyone always thinks that I'm a top. Like, and
Right.
I'm just like, girl,
Yeah.
no, it me.
Stop top shaming.
Stop. Top shaming.
Shaming.
Where is that? I ain't gonna be talking about reverse racism, sis.
I'm mad.
Hot shaming.
But or let's stop assigning a certain position based on someone's race. Like people assume that if you're black, if you're a lot of times if you're a person of Latino, a lot of people. Well, I guess maybe blacks or black folks.
Blacks.
And Latino, black. I'm sorry. Black folks and Latino folks is what I meant to say. Oh no, I'm gonna be dragged.
Many of my friends are blacks. Actually,
No.
I will have you know. That's the quote from our President Trump.
All right. So what I was saying is, black folks and Latino folks are usually assigned to the position of top automatically, just because you're thought of as kind of
Aggressive.
exactly like the aggressor, the wild, savage, person in bed or whatever.
Yeah.
So when people are not that, like there's even been like kind of studies on this, is like when black and Latino folks, the study that I saw was actually specifically black folks. When black folks are bottoms, and they cite that on dating profiles, they're very rarely hit up, and they're probably the least hit up out of like all of the groups on dating apps.
What is the saying? If a white guy wants to be dominated, he'll hit up a black guy. If he wants to dominate, he'll hit up an Asian guy.
Correct.
Damn, I hadn't heard that, but wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't remember the article that's from, but yeah, it was just talking about how like white men dominate desirability politics and all that shit. But
right.
Yeah.
And the thing is that white men are kind of given that leeway and like that freedom to be like, okay, I feel like I'm gonna be a top today, so like I'm a top, or I feel like I'm gonna be a bottom, so I'll be. Do you know what I'm saying? Cis white men at least, and I feel like I wish I had that. I wish I had that kind of leeway to be like, oh, okay, like today, because I usually, it's weird because I have, I guess it's, wait, are you done base or should I?
I guess I am now.
No, go.
I'm just
go.
Go ahead.
Well, okay. What I was gonna say was, I don't know. I get read in different ways.
Because you're also small.
Right. Yeah. And so, but I also like, it's funny because people immediately, I feel like when they see me, they like peg me as one or the other. Like they're just like, okay, you're this, you're that. Like no one has ever been like
there, but I'm trying so hard not to make them. Sorry, keep going.
The peg joke.
That one, and you said I get dragged, sorry, keep going. Sorry.
Ignore me. Wow. Going. Okay. But yeah, I think, I think because I'm small, like it kind of gets in the way of things a little bit. Like me being tinier, like a lot of dudes, a lot of bottoms want like a bigger top, like someone that like, or someone that's a little more like, I guess dominating. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, I just want to say that short tops are valid.
Thank you.
Short tops, you are valid.
Thank you.
Are valid.
You're doing the Lord's work.
Tall bottoms
and-
are also valid.
It's all about you, right?
Oh, thank you.
And and it's also like I also have gotten with like random people, and even like in past relationships, like people in bed being like, "Oh, why aren't you like more rough?" Or like, "Why aren't you like more like, why don't you like push me around more or whatever?" And it's kind of like I'm like working on that's something that I'm working on because I want to do that myself, and not because like fuck whatever like whoever thinks, but like it's also like I'm sorry to go into this, but I have like a lot of weird associations with people being rough or like pushing each other around because I have like some issues with abuse when I was a kid. So it was just kind of weird. Like I remember the first time somebody's like, why don't you like rougher with me? And I'm just like, oh, like I remember being a kid and being like, God, I never want anybody to feel like this. Or like, do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like there are a lot of things like I would consider myself, I prefer to top, but there are a lot of things that are kind of getting in the way of me feeling like, okay, yeah, this is my role. Do you know what I'm saying? And like,
You also said on the intro preview thing that I top transitioning to verse, so there is that.
And I'm trying, but I find like just like Baze, it's so funny that you feel like you need to trust somebody to top them, because I feel like I'm just thinking about like my most recent encounters when like people like I've had like people like pin me down and try to like automatically like go for it, and I'm just like, whoa, like this feels really weird to me.
Yeah.
Like it feels like, holy shit, like wait, no, I don't know you like that, or I don't trust you like that, and for you to like do this, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
and it doesn't do the stuff, it doesn't really bring up like the passion in me that like maybe like topping would. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to correct myself. Actually, in really super anonymous situations, I have topped. But like it has to be like, I don't know, like I will never have to see your face ever again. Like it has to be in, like,
so if something goes wrong,
yeah, it has to be in like a different state or a different country. So like if I go south, I don't have to ever see your ass again.
Right. That is another thing for me, is like I do have, and Rakeem, or we'll talk about this later, but I do have a lot of issues with I have a lot of issues with sexual anxiety. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and like it actually sorry no, because I know that you wanted to bring that up at some point. Sorry, yes. I didn't mean to call you out, but I also like I am a lot better with that when I know it's somebody that like I'm never gonna see again. Do you know what I'm saying? When I'm just like, okay, like I don't know you, there's no expectations, we're just gonna have fun, and like we never have to do this again or whatever. So, which sucks, because like when it's somebody that I'm seeing like frequently or what have you, like it's just like but yeah. So Rakeem,
hi. Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of have a few. Oh my god, my sister's trying to FaceTime me while we're talking about this. Did I answer it, you guys?
No. Ashley,
no.
Okay. You know how she is.
Okay, so
we love you, Ashley.
So yeah, God, this is so weird. Okay, I never talk about this stuff in public, so I feel a little bit exposed and like
expose yourself,
vulnerable.
You don't have to. No, I didn't mean to call you out. I just
no. I have no problem talking about that. It's interesting talking about like the sexual position stuff. So normally, I top, but I have. How do I say it? I practiced this summer. My goal was to try to be like I always was joking with my friends that like my goal was to try to be like a true verse by the end of the year.
Right.
How's that going?
I made progress and now it's halted.
But you made progress.
And
don't about it.
I did make progress. But I find it really interesting because a lot of the messages and things that I get are really interesting too, because, well, right now I don't really have dating apps, for reasons, but like my experience normally has been, cause I'm like darker skin and I tend to be a bit thicker, and I'm like 5'11", 5'10", so people automatically assume that like I get a lot of, like BBC, like big black dick, like whatever. Yeah, and
say cack? Cat.
Oh,
yes, that.
Or that. I mean, it's just a lot of like. It's a lot of like, like I want you to fuck the shit out of me and like do that kind of stuff. Which like some days are like, I got you.
Yes.
But some days it's just, but most times it's like I don't really necessarily relate with that. And I think I'll divide this up into two sections, right? Like, so in college, like when I first kind of came out and I was experimenting, I was really excited about any kind of sexual situation I would put myself in or I would get myself into. So I was very open to those kind of situations and I didn't really feel any kind of anxiety or like worry or things about that. So, it wasn't like a huge deal for me, but I also didn't necessarily think about like the repercussions of what that meant or like how people kind of looked at me in a way. I didn't really care about like the dehumanization. But now I'm at a place where I'm kind of where Baze is, whereas I think, and it's taken me a while to get here, and I feel like maybe it's good to talk about this, but I think I'm at a point now where I just can't randomly hook up with people. Like, I think there needs to be some kind of like emotional connection or something there. Like, I don't know. Like, or like you were saying, it has to be like super, super anonymous. Like, I don't know you, you don't know me kind of
It has
thing.
to be like at least for me, I don't even think it has to be like
Ass
a
Eaters
super,
Anonymous.
like
Bye.
connected. I just like for there to be like some type of like something that makes it comfortable. Like I don't want to like feel like
Right.
you know what I mean. Like I like the idea of like hooking up with people that like I felt comfortable with, even if I don't necessarily we don't have to know each other's lives, but just like like where you just have that chemistry with someone. I think that makes it easier.
No, definitely. But like I have so like Renee was saying, and I've talked about this on the anxiety episode, but I do have a lot of like sexual anxiety when it comes to sexual situations, and it's hard because a lot of times I think like, oh, why is this person interested in me? I'm not good enough for this person. I'm not cool enough for this person. Like, why, and then that gives me like performance anxiety, and then I'm not able to like do what I need to do. And I think like, and I think a lot of that comes from like deeper issues than that kind of thing. But
Right.
it's
You
rough.
are cool enough for that person, Ricky.
What?
You said you are cool enough for that person.
Thank you. I don't think I'm cool at all, but whatever. But it's just more like, it's like something that's in my head. So a lot of times, like, I just don't hook up now because of that reason. Like, sometimes I'll get really excited and someone will be like, oh, like, come over, like, or do this or whatever. And I'm like, I can't do that anymore because I know I'll get like really nervous and I'll get really, kind of like in my head about it.
Right.
And I'll share a quick story, but I won't go into too much detail. But earlier this year, I went to someone's house, and I was looking to hook up with this person, and this person has like a really, really big Instagram following, and I got like really in my head about it, and I got really nervous, and I kept telling myself I'm not good enough for them, like like what if I fuck up and whatever, and I can't remember thinking that like I'm gonna be quote like exposed to this whole Instagram following thing, and I got in my head about it, and I like self-sabotaged, and because of that situation, and like after that situation, like it's been something that's constantly kind of happened. But the only times it doesn't really affect me is when I'm really comfortable or have seen the person. So what I've been doing as of late is just like, if someone wants to hook up, I go, look, I'm really not gonna be able to do this unless we talk or that kind of thing. So I just don't really hook up for the most part anymore. But anyway, so I say all that to say, like, in regards to how people treat me, I just kind of get looked at as a piece of meat a lot of the time, or I'm ignored. Like, because I think the flip side to this is like, you either get looked at as like this like King Kong, Godzilla, like beast kind of thing, or you just get ignored at all. And people don't really take the time to look at you as a person. And so I think like the issue is your humanity doesn't get looked at.
Right.
It's just like, what is my sexual capital? What is my function? Can I hit your prostate? Like that kind of thing. And then it's like, other than that, people don't give two shits. And I'm not at the place where I care about, I care about it, but like, I need to care about you to care about it, and not to say that there's anything wrong with hooking up. I'm just not at that point right now in my life, I guess. So
That's real.
yeah. John.
So, what is the relationship with our positions? Well, this may come as a shock to some of our listeners,
Uh-oh.
but
Hold on. Prepare for it.
Let me run to go put on my pearls just so I can clutch them.
Yes.
Surprise.
No, I think. So I think we talked about identifying someone's position just by their height or their skin color. I also want to talk about how people present, and so there's a joke that like I'm sort of top passing until I like open my mouth. But I mean that's funny, but it's sort of true. I think when I first started, coming out and like telling people stuff, there was a lot of shame into telling people I was a bottom.
Shame.
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 Shame. And I don't know. That comes from like, I think from my heterosexual counterparts too. They'd be like, well, as long as you're not the one like receiving, right? And I get that all the time. And I'm like, and I'd be kind of laughing in my head like, haha, yeah, that's not me. I'm not that one. But like, I'm totally that one.
You're like spinning in the room.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, at least you're not, because for some reason, I don't know why, but like that's where a lot of bottom shaming comes from, is that like if you're the bottom, you're the more feminine one, you're the more submissive, you're the girl. And like to me, like first of all, there's nothing wrong with any of the above. There's nothing wrong with being a girl. There's nothing wrong with like, it's just like, this comes back to like misogyny, right? Like there's nothing wrong with being a girl or like the receiving one. Right. And actually, I think there's a lot of power in the one receiving. So yeah, I think my relationship has changed. Yeah. So before I was like a closet bottom. Like I don't want to the only person who needs to know is like the person who's fucking me, right? But like now I think it's really important to just like
come out of the
closet. Come out and just tell people you're a bottom. And I want to steal this phrase from my friend Kwan, is being an empowered bottom, because I believe in myself. And I think other bottoms should believe in themselves too. There's no shame in telling people, because like first, I think for me, it like first of all, it's like such a time saver. Like you know, when you first meet someone, there's like this whole dance of like, oh, so I'm trying to feel out if he's a top or a bottom. Like, look, I'm just going to tell you right now that I'm not going to top you.
Wait, did you just not ask? Is that rude to ask? Like, I just ask people.
No, that's what I'm saying is that okay. I think it's such a huge time saver just to come out and say it. Yeah. Like when I'm on my apps, like it says it on my app, but still people like message me and be like, "Can you breed me? Can you top me?" And I'm like, "Dude, it says on my profile I'm not going to do that." Like,
they're hoping that they'll be the one. Some people wait a lifetime.
Shut up, Renee, girl.
But yeah, and I don't know. Like, I want to sort of embrace this more. I don't think like. I think a lot of people feel ashamed about it because it's the more feminine role. And I think that there's nothing wrong with being a feminine and a bottom. And there's also nothing wrong with being feminine and a top. I think there's a lot of jokes about like,
a blouse.
Yes, exactly. Like a blouse, like Rakeem, that meme where it's like when you see your top putting on makeup, I was like, I would love if the top and I did our makeup together. Like how romantic would that be? I don't know. I would, but I just want to like
highlight as he fucks you. Like it's great.
The glitter falling from his beard as he talks to me.
Hold on, Daddy, your lashes are coming off. Let me put it back on. I mean, I am
Daddy lashes. Oh my god, that's a new brand. That's your new brand.
Oh, wait.
Daddy lashes. Daddy lashes.
Daddy lashes beauty.
Daddy lashes by John.
But yeah,
by Cags.
Oh, that's so pretty sounding. But yeah, I think my relationship has changed because I think before I was more ashamed of it, and now I'm just like, hey, you guys, there's nothing wrong with it, and I want there to be more of that kind of trend, and for blouses too. Like, you're a feminine top, and that's fine. That's great. Like, let's more of that, more feminine tops 2017, please.
Yes.
So this is an interesting thing because I guess you and I would say we would prefer a certain position, but then we've also been sorry, John and I, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We would say that we prefer a certain position, but we've been in past relationships where we were actually the opposite.
Right. Yes.
So I was sitting here like racking my head this whole summer, like, oh my god, how am I gonna bottom? Like, I need to finally do it. Like, it needs to, click. And then I just thought, I was like, holy shit, wait, like 4 or 5 years ago, like I was in a relationship that didn't last very long, but I was quote unquote the bottom. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you were.
Well, I was sort of verse because I wanted to please my partner.
Oh, like, that was going to be my question to y'all. Like, does that affect the way that you date people? Like, because it does.
I don't think I could. Because I really do enjoy bottoming, and so like I could top, but like I can never be with somebody who would like need me to be a top most of the time.
What is it because you feel
Sorry, go ahead.
Pressure, or is it because
if you want a top and I want if you
enjoy-
want a top and I want a top as well, then
Right.
I mean, I guess if
Right.
you have an open
there are like two bottoms that date each other all the time,
I-
or like two tops that date each other.
I guess
like-
if you have an open relationship, as I was trying to say, if you have an open relationship, then it won't matter. But
Right.
no Molly.
but yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I don't see myself dating somebody who prefers the bottom. Sex, yes, but relationship, I don't think it's realistic.
That's interesting. It doesn't necessarily matter for me. I'll kind of adjust to the partner, I guess. Like, if I like you enough, I'll weather the storm and I'll fucking do it.
I guess that could be true, but I haven't gotten that close to a bottom that I was like, okay.
Well, like, here's the thing, and I okay, whatever. I'll just say it. Like, I just feel okay. Here's the thing. Like, topping comes with its own thing because it's like you have to maintain the erection and all that shit. And I get that that's nerve wracking, but it doesn't physically hurt you to do it. Whereas bottoming feels like someone got a fucking bat with nails in it and then fucking sticks it up your asshole. Depending on the person who's doing it. John, calm down.
It feels,
I
for
knew-
you,
It doesn't feel like that to me. But.
I knew you were going to say that. There have been 2 times when I realized, oh, I get it now. Because when I go on my Vidster and shit like that, the bottom would be acting they were just told they got a free pass to heaven and free Popeyes, and I'm just for the rest of their life, and I'm like, shit, is it that good? And then the first time that I did it, I was like, ow. It was I didn't really understand what happened, but then I've experienced moments where I'm like, okay, I get it. So if I like you that much, I'll be the one to compromise, but it's never affected my emotional relationships, because I would say most people I've liked have been top or top adjacents.
Top or top adjacent.
I feel like I attract romantically people that want serious things. I attract tops, and I'm like, fuck. How am I gonna do this?
I
You know what I'm
attract.
saying?
I think I attract both actually. So I don't know, or I.
Must be nice.
But
Yeah, I sometimes just wish I was a bottom, to be quite honest, because I feel like I've come up as a bottom to a lot of people.
Do you just wish you were black? Do you just wish you were darker?
No.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Curly hair.
Rachel Dolezal to bottom me.
Rachel Jones.
Fuck! I just wish I was a bottom. It's just so much easier being a bottom.
No, it would just
Rachel
for me
Dolezal.
because people expect me to stop. Not okay. I'm leaving. No, but
Transpositional.
But
Wait, never mind. That doesn't work. Never mind. Shut up.
You should say transposition.
Could y'all please? No, because I really honestly every time someone's really into me, I'm just oh fuck. As soon as it starts, I'm just god damn
Because
it.
people assume you're a bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it would be easier if I matched what people assume I am. It would be easier if I could take.
I think that too.
I
I think it would be easier if I was just a total top and was yes, give me that.
because people assume that you're top.
Wait, what is your top voice?
Give me top voice.
Give me that
top voice.
FWA. Give me that FWA. That flat white ass.
What is that?
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what I attract is the white guys with the flat asses telling me they want that beat. No, girl, let me tell you. I was at the station. I was at the train station the other day, and this has actually happened to me the train station. But anyway, this has actually happened to me a few times since I've moved here. Is I actually attract more whites than people of color, I feel, unfortunately. And as I'm at stations, I still attract a good number of men of color, which is nice. But I was at the train station and this white gay spotted me, and then he spotted
on the train.
XOXO
Misconnections.
XOXO.
And so he saw me, and then he immediately changed his spinal position and stuck his flat butt out so far. I was like, girl, no, you about to break your spine in half. And that happens quite frequently to me where I'll see a white gay and as soon as they see me, they're butt just their spine curves. And I'm just girl, why are you faking that ass?
I'm mad.
So hold on a second. Mark's key is stuck in the door.
But I mean,
so
let's talk about
Mark's
that
key is stuck in the door real
privilege.
quick. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Can we talk about top and bottom, or top privilege and bottom? Can we talk about that?
What? Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk
Okay.
about it.
So, John, what do you? Okay. First, I think I know what top privilege is, but do you think that there's a bottom privilege at all?
No. Just like there's no reverse racism. It's like reverse racism. There's no such thing as bottom privilege. Because, like, tops, I mean, from what I've experienced and from what I know that other bottoms experience as well, and from what I've heard tops talk about bottoms, it's very like, I have the power. Like, and if you're like
That's okay.
send me,
He-Man.
like, a hole is just a hole. Like, I've really heard people say these things.
Right.
And, like, to me, and it's like, and they're like, if you're not going to do what I want you to do for me, I can just like find another bottom anywhere else who'll do it for me.
Tops are dicks.
Yeah.
And for some, no, and I just feel like like population wise, there always seems to be a shortage of tops in like whatever
Yeah.
major city you're in or wherever. So
What?
That's what I always hear. A lot of,
Kinda,
I mean,
a lot of bottoms say that it's a lot of shortage of tops, and then a lot of tops say that it's a shortage of bottoms. Mark just said yes to that. He said there's a shortage of bottoms.
Hi,
He
Mark.
said hi.
Wait, Bates, get him on mic.
But
He said hi.
I think that I think like a big thing is that like a lot of people think like there's like tops are like very rare. Like a lot of the belief is like, okay, there's 80% bottoms and like
Yeah.
20% like total tops, and like especially people that want like total tops and like mass.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's
And
true.
so
that
those,
goes
like,
into
masked
it. You
total
need that
tops,
specific
they-
top. That's why you saying that there's not that many tops.
Right, and that's the thing. Like a lot of mass tops think that they're like the shit and like won't take no for an answer, or like they'll treat you like shit because they think like, oh well, like you're gonna do whatever
You'll
I
put up
want,
with
and
it.
like I'm
Yeah.
very rare anyway. Yeah.
Well, okay, I have a question then, or a few
Top
questions.
for the light
Is
skin
a total top
gay
a good?
community. Sorry, go ahead.
Bye. Is a total top a good thing? And is a total anything a good thing? Because I've heard people talk about like, oh well, versus.
I
this
think
doesn't
that
matter.
whatever
I think
works for
ideally
you.
it's good to be
I think
versed,
whatever
right?
works for you is what's good. Like I think that people are like, oh, you need to be versed because verse is the true position, and we're not getting into that heteronormative relation, blah blah blah. Like just because somebody decides that they want to be a bottom doesn't mean like that they're like adhering to like a heteronormative standard. It just means that they want to like get fucked. And if you are up top and you just want to be a top, some people don't want people fucking their ass, and some people don't want to do either. Some people just want to kiss and jack off.
And it's not that easy for
cuddle.
people
Cuddle.
to like police other people's positions. Like if someone's like, why don't you just be verse, or why don't you just try topping? Like I've heard like numerous people tell me that, and I'm not going to go into details why I don't do that, but like just some people can't do it like
Yeah.
functionality wise. So I don't think you should shame someone because they're a bottom and they only want a bottom, maybe because that's the only thing they can do. Unless they had like some sort of medicinal assistance, then don't shame
But
them
I've
for
also
bottoming.
I've done both, and I just enjoy bottoming more than I enjoy topping. But I like topping too.
I'll
There-
agree with that. Bottoming feels like I'm like, oh, this actually
Yeah.
isn't fair.
Because you're getting double
it feels-
stimulation. Yes,
Double.
You're jacking off,
because
and you're also
you're
getting
back there, and then you're
Yes.
yeah.
That's why
You can't relate, but I'll go off.
You know what I
Oh,
think?
go
Do
the
you guys
best-
think that there's a
I
bottom
think the best
privilege?
thing I always wanted to try is like being the middle and like a threesome and like fucking one person while getting fucked by the other person. I feel like that would be the best feeling ever.
Or you know what else is good? Like one of the few times I enjoyed bottoming is when I was getting fucked and then somebody was sucking my dick at the same time.
Ooh.
That's never
really
happened.
good,
Oh, I
too.
need to. Okay.
Y'all are some whores. What were you saying?
So we've discussed like sort of top privilege. Do you guys think about there's bottom privilege out there?
Okay, I asked you this and you said no.
Right. But I do have to say I am jealous of like some of these bottoms. Like what? Like
Armin Rizzo.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if Amar Rizzo was on top?
I've seen him in videos.
No,
where
I know
he's
I
top
have too. But
before.
I'm just like, could you
Yeah.
imagine if he was like a total top? Like, how miserable like would his dating existence be because he's so small?
right, because he's small.
Right.
And like yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
I'm just
No,
like,
but yeah, no, it's true. I don't know that they have privilege per se, but it's just like, and they have to get ready and everything. Like they have to
I
prepare.
don't.
Oh wait, I don't think we can we have this? Wait, I think there's one thing we need to talk about.
What?
Okay.
Poop dick.
Poop dick?
It
It
happens.
happens.
If you're fucking
happens.
somebody's asshole, that
Yeah, look.
can happen. It's a possibility.
Right. So
Look,
I
you
feel
good with
like
me.
there's a lot of disgust that comes from the top, and it's like I get it. Like
You have shit on your dick.
it's not shit on your dick, but like don't get mad at the person because it's a human. Like what do you?
I think that's so boring when people do that. Like I've had friends that say like, oh, once I smell it or I see it, like I just leave. I don't even say bye or anything. Like,
Like,
I
what do
I
you
think that's so
think is
stupid.
there's a risk.
You're fucking,
Fucking
stabbing
someone
somebody
in the
inside.
ass.
Yeah.
That's where poop comes out.
Yeah.
Like don't get mad about it. And also, bottoms, like if there's an accident, like don't curl up into a fetal position and like
Right.
get mad at yourself because you are a human and like
Right.
you can't control everything.
Right.
So don't get so like I've been on both ends of this situation.
Literally.
And I just if you're shaming someone then you're that's kind of an asshole move. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like you can't get mad at that person
That's
for just
stupid.
being a human being.
That's stupid.
The only reason I would get mad, or anyone would get mad, if you like put a whole Thanksgiving turkey on my, okay, that's one thing. but
That's
if
never
there's a-
happened.
If there's a whole
Like,
meal on the
that-
dick,
there's like small snickerdoodle when you pull out sometimes, but like I've never had like a whole like meal. Like a
if
deluxe
I see
meal,
what
like,
you ate last week, that's one thing. But
There's like a piece of
but
gum
it's like,
stuck to
okay,
your dick.
but you're
Wait, what'd you just say?
Piece of gum.
No!
corn. Bye. Other than that, it's like grow the fuck up. You're putting your dick in someone's ass. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
going to
I
happen.
can say
And
that
it's
I
like,
have some bottom
be
privilege,
adults.
but it's like a very specific privilege in that I just don't have to clean out. No,
Poop?
I mean, yeah, I just don't. Like, I'm
Oh.
just ready all the. I just
Wow.
don't have to, and it's not even like I wonder.
That is bottom.
No. I'm wondering. I'm wondering.
Animorph into a power bottom.
I wonder. I'm the
an
next.
animal.
I'm the next. I'm a mutant. That's like
that's your XG.
I'm ready for my Hogwarts
Oh my God,
letter.
your superpowers to never have to fleet.
Magneto was great.
Where is Albus Dumbledore? I'm ready for my Hogwarts letter.
Get the fuck.
No, but honestly,
Bye.
and I'm suspecting, I don't know, maybe this is like presumptuous, but like I'm wondering like how many people don't actually have to and do because they feel like they need to. Like I feel like if you just make sure that you have used the restroom and then you also just go in the shower and you just stick a couple fingers up there, with a soapy finger, and then you're done, and then you're good. Like I feel like I don't know. I wonder how many people would be good with that because like I used to do the like douching thing, and then like I ended up backpacking, and I was just like, bitch, I'm not about to do this while I'm traveling too. Like, bitch, I'm in a fucking hostel with 16 damn people. I'm not about to be sitting up here doing this, hogging the bathroom. So like I had to do without, and that's how I discovered that you don't necessarily have to do that. And I wonder if a lot of people are the same and just haven't had to discover that they don't have to do it.
I'm like a really tiny dude, and just like I attract a lot of guys with really huge
That's
dicks.
why, because you're small.
And so like when I do every once in a while when I do bottom, like that goes all the way up to like my lungs.
Oh
It's
my
like, why do I
God.
feel this in my stomach? The
I
fuck?
know, like I don't need a tonsillitis anymore afterwards because I just feel
You got you a root
Like, I didn't
canal.
ask for a physical bitch.
right.
Alright.
So for me, every time I have, like, if I'm gonna do it, if I know ahead of time I'm gonna do it, like, I have to like make sure everything is good. So I have
Oh
to
my
do it.
God.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Do we have any like closing thoughts? I forgot what the
Do
fuck.
do we have any advice to give to the bottoms and tops out there? Are the verses?
I guess this is something that I'm gonna tell myself and the people I love because it's something that I have to say to myself as well. But
We're
I guess
listening.
just don't feel like you need to be one or the other, or don't feel like don't be mad at yourself if you feel like you don't fit
Yeah.
like the certain role of
Right.
whatever
If
position.
you're
you
versed,
feel you
that's
are.
great.
So,
And you do get the best of both worlds. But if you're not, your world is big enough.
Thank you.
Wow,
Bass.
Bass.
Butterfly
you.
in the sky.
I've
smart
been
when you
listening
want
to
to.
Solange all day, seat at the table. So I just been feeling real inspired and very deep.
A fleet at the table.
A fleet at the table. That is.
I'm leaving.
I'm naming the episode that. A fleet at the table.
The disrespect. Solange, sorry. Solange, sweetie.
I'm so sorry.
I just want. Yeah, I mean, I guess that was deep enough. Okay, go ahead. Next person.
Was it deep
It never
enough?
is.
Oh.
Can you baby boy?
I guess if I could give advice to bottoms coming into this world, baby bottoms, and
That
like
sounds so weird.
my
Bottoms that are
past
being
self-
born. Like it just sounds.
How many bottoms are born each second?
Every second.
just to not.
For just 25 cents a day, you can save a bottom. You can support a bottom.
Oh my god. Send a picture of this baby bottom, like. Anyway, just to not feel any shame about your role and either role, I guess. Like, if you're a feminine top, then that's fine. You're allowed to be femme and you're allowed to be a top at the same time. And if you're like a tall bottom and people think you're a top, then and you feel ashamed that you're an actual bottom, like I don't think you should feel ashamed for that either. So just, I don't know. I just want you to feel comfortable in your truth, and that comes in your position as well.
That was literally my advice. All I have to say is live your truth and live your best life. Do you? No one's judging you.
Yes. That. Yes.
Sorry,
I was like, James Woods got owned on Twitter, and it just cracked me the fuck up because he came out and said, there's that movie that Armie Hammer is doing, and it's about like a 24-year-old falling in love with a 17-year-old, and it's gross and creepy. But James Woods was talking about how this is like the end of our civilization or whatever, and he was like, Armie Hammer came back and was like, "Girl, weren't you dating a 19-year-old when you were 66?" And then like, yeah, or when you were 60. And then an actress came out and said that he offered to take her to Vegas when she was 16. So he's getting dragged on Twitter right now. But I just thought that was really funny. Fuck you, James Woods. I'm done.
Are you done?
I'm always done.
All right. And okay. And with that, we are going to end. Can you do it, Baze, the French accent, please?
Okay, I had to do both. Renee, you got to help me with the second one. And that will conclude the discourse. Okay, and then Renee, we got to do our... So...
tops and bottoms.
Oh my god!
And that's the end of us discoursing.
Wow. Okay, and with that, we're going to move on.
Hello, and we're back with the Minutes of Color, MOC.
Baze, we're not back with Minutes of Color.
We're back with Mail of Color. Look, bitch, it's 10:55, okay? It's late on here on the East Coast.
So what did you have to say, John?
Oh, I can't. Reverse. I can't do it.
That was interesting. Anyway,
Sorry. Ooh.
no, Renee, you do it.
I can't.
Why you can't? Is this like a power you can only use once a week and then it just gets used up? Okay. Anyway.
Power bottom.
Okay, so we have a letter from Leo from LA.
Oh, hey, Leo.
Hi, Leo.
Leo's from LA, grew up in the Slauson, Crenshaw area.
Hey, yo, Inglewood, woo woo.
But currently lives in the Bay Area. He says that his friends are part of the board for the Oakland LGBT Center.
Oh.
Well, what's up?
Okay, we'll go off.
Come over.
His friends.
Let's hang out.
Oh, he said that he could have met one of you when you were there, but he had a B-Day party. Because he actually wrote this a while ago because we are shitty at getting back to our emails.
Oh.
But so he says, I am a queer black man, unapologetic, and I love my men of color. Anywho, I just want to send this email about the last podcast on religion for the oppressed.
This was a while ago.
Yeah,
Yikes.
for the religion, because one, I am a queer Christian and I practice said religion. I have found it to be quite freeing to see Jesus as a revolutionary agent for the oppressed. 2, there was a mention of the Crenshaw Christian Center. I went there as a kid because Fred Price and his family are my family.
Who said that?
Yikes. Who? I didn't say that. I didn't know. Who said that? His wife is my grandfather's sister, so I grew up not only attending, but as a family member. Yeah, his wife is my grandfather's sister. We love Crenshaw Christian Center. Wait. Yeah, we love the Christians. Hallelujah.
You guys are so sick.
Grew up not only attending, but as a family member. I don't and have never really agreed with their take on the gospel, which is centered around prosperity. But I also know them to be wonderful people. They don't know about my sexuality. Neither is it their business, but it is a part of my truth. I love my family. Anywho, thanks to you for this podcast. This is as if I'm listening to a combo between me and my friends. Keep it up with love, Leo. Sorry that we took so long to get to your email, Leo, but thank you for writing in. And it's always great to have differing perspectives on things. Religion.
Yeah, your perspective is valid.
Yes.
And maybe we'll see you when we're in the Bay.
Yes, maybe John and Renee and Marquine will see you when they're in the Bay, because I'll never go to the Bay because I live in New York, and unfortunately it's expensive as shit.
Baze, is he black?
Yeah.
Is this? Yeah, he's probably one of the blacks that Renee was talking about earlier.
What? Oh my god.
Wait. Oh, the black that Renee knows.
Drag her.
So this is from Paloma. I love your name, Paloma.
Paloma.
Paloma. Oh, that's such a beautiful name. Anyway, I'm a queer mix.
Sorry.
It means dove or love. Oh, I love that.
Paloma means dove and Ohana means verse. We got it.
And I'm a queer mixed cis femme. I struggle with my identity regularly as I am half German and half Ecuadorian, a first-gen American. I resemble my indigenous father more than my mother, but I'm fully conscious of the privileges that I have. I'm conflicted as a mixed person because I don't look like either side of my family, but recently in high school I embraced my Latina identity. My mother is insulted by this since she is who raised me, regularly confronting me, look at your Latino family and what they have done for you. Do you really want to be like them? I'm always trying to find an opportunity to educate my mother on the experience of my father's side and why it's more difficult to become successful like she is. I identify more with my Latina side since I'm more dark-featured. However, I don't want to claim to be POC when my experience may not be the same. I don't know where I fit in since my race seems to be incredibly ambiguous, so I'm a loner type. My ultimate POC experience has been fetishization. Since my identity has developed, most of my partners choose to fetishize my Latina side, especially when they are white. I've noticed it's subjected me to be only considered for sexual relations, but I want a relationship. And when I've been with Latino men, they fetishize me as novella-esque, looking Latinas as basically possibly white passing, which always subjects me to a reward of whiteness. How can I approach potential partners when I want a relationship when they only choose to perceive me as a fetish and for my beauty privilege? Maybe I'm too young, but I don't want all my partners to objectify me. I want something meaningful. So
this is a whole discourse topic, I think. This is a lot. And I have to say, I have a hard time myself. I mean, I don't know. I obviously don't know exactly what you look like, or if we.
Well, we have a picture of her on the thing. She's gorgeous. Oh. She's absolutely gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. Okay.
Darling.
Well, yeah,
but she definitely looks like she is. She doesn't. To me, I don't know like how you say that somebody's a white Latinx person, so I can't speak on that. But you definitely look like you are Latinx to me.
Right. Okay. Well, I will say this. God, I mean, I have a hard time myself feeling like the people that I attract are not in one way or another either fetishizing me or like looking at me, or we just talked about this, looking at me and like through a certain lens and like wanting me to like perform whatever fantasy they have. So that one's kind of difficult. I think just with really with time and really getting to know the person and like seeing if they actually appreciate you, and like I guess you kind of over time like start to figure out whether or not that's someone you can trust, or whether it's someone that like wants you to perform a certain a certain role and like just stay in that box. And I think like little things that they'll say, like maybe microaggressions or whatever, will eventually kind of help you figure that out. But as far as not attracting people like that, like that's kind of a tough one. Like I I can't say that I'm really good myself at like not attracting people that only look at me as a certain kind of as I don't really a lot of times attract people that look at me as a person. I don't think. So I don't. Yeah, and we just talked about this. So I don't. That one's kind of hard. Like that one's just unfortunately something that we're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do to combat the way that other people perceive you.
Right.
Like all you can do is be who you are, and then like decide whether that person is worth being in your life.
Right. Because it is easier to figure out after a while. You're just like, oh shit, wait, this person said that, or they want me to only do this, and it's easy to figure out after a while. But as far as attracting them, like that one's hard. And as far as like convincing a white person.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like convincing like a white person that like her you know, her side, her more indigenous side is valid when her mom has already made up her mind. That one's kind of hard, and especially if her mom already has like a negative view of the indigenous side of the family. That one I can't even like. I don't even know. I can't even speak to that one because I don't have a white parent, and but it sounds like it is incredibly difficult,
tough situation because like. That's your mom, so you can't just be like, fuck you, bitch. But
right.
Like, at the same time.
I mean, you can, but that's going to be a really hard decision. That's going to be a really hard decision to make. But, Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Go.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I would just, like, one thing that I find, like, great with family is, like, you don't have to just cut them off. Just it's easier to just distance yourself from them sometimes. So if you have, like, a family member that you really, like, are not, like, that you find it mentally taxing to be around and you don't feel like you can be yourself around them, I find it's just easier to just be like, okay, I'm not going to make a big thing of like, because you might need them one day in the future, so you don't want to cut them off completely sometimes if you can help it. Sometimes it's just easier to be like, okay, well, I'm busy. Like, I know tons of white people actually that, you know, your mom actually your mom probably does this to your grandma, because I know a lot of white people who like avoid their mom's phone calls and like don't talk to their mom at all if they can help it. So like, just do that to her.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and this is something that I mean, probably all of us, but I know you and I, Bays, have like experience with, where like if we have a hard time with a certain family member, or if we feel like we can't be ourselves or completely comfortable, then we're not around them a lot.
Pretty much.
That one's, I mean, it's a lot harder when it's your mom.
Yeah, and if you live with her, that makes it really difficult.
Right, but yeah, I think eventually either she's gonna come around, or when you're old enough or independent enough to like be on your own, you're gonna figure out that she's not, and then maybe, and this is super hard, but maybe the space is actually needed at that point. Yep. Sorry, Paloma. That sounds really, really heavy.
But we hope that we answered that as, I don't know, that we hope we helped at all. We hope that we helped at all. So yeah. But thank you for writing into us, and feel free to write anything else if you have any more questions or any more issues that, you know, maybe you want us to help you with. But also, we're not experts, so don't expect us to have all the answers. I think that's going to be it for letters this week. I think we will definitely get back to the ones that we have in our inbox next week. All right. Do we want to do weeks, or do we want to just end it here?
We can do weeks if you want.
Okay.
Go.
So I went to this thing called Bubble Tea a few days ago, and it was really cool. It was interesting because it was like, it's an Asian party here in New York, and actually in Brooklyn. And so I went with my friend who's black, and we were meeting up with another friend who's Taiwanese and who had invited us to this. And so just me and my like other black friend were there, and so we were kind of awkward because the crowd was about 50% Asian and then 50% white. So like, as you can probably guess, that it felt kind of awkward because I didn't feel particularly like, I didn't feel like ugh, why are they here? But I also didn't feel like, oh, this is a great like space for me. You know what I mean? But also I was like, this is not my space. But it was also like, it felt very like comfortable for the white people there. So I was just like, okay. Well, anyway, so when my friend got there, it got a lot easier because then, you know, other friends that were Asian showed up, and so like it became more. Like, it became better, but like I didn't complain because I was just like, I this is not even my space to begin with. But then like our friends left, some of our friends left, and then like the crowd just became increasingly white, and so like I had to dip because I was just like, I can just, I don't know.
Did you
I
feel
felt
like you were
weird
being
about it.
looked over, or
Not even like, because I wasn't there to be seen. I was just like, I just felt like I just thought it would be more like of a Poppy Juice-esque type thing, where like if you go to Poppy Juice, like clearly the prioritized people are like black and brown people, but like you're
Sure.
gonna see like a lot of Asians. But though I don't know how Asian people feel when they're in those spaces, and if they feel the same way I felt at this Asian party, so I can't speak on that. But I guess I thought that would be the kind of thing where it was like, it's specifically for this group, but like all POC, there's going to be more POC here than there's going to be white people. And it just felt like very white. And so like, I was like, I wonder how many like people are here like that are like.
With a white person?
No, well, like I was seeing whole groups of white people. So I was just also like, are these fetishizers? Are they just like friends of the people that were like? Because all the organizers are Asian, so like I like my friend was telling me that like all the like his words, not mine, that all the Asians in the city come to this party, and so I don't know. It was just interesting. Like I would go again because I think I would expect it, and so it wouldn't be as like jarring for me. But like I just didn't expect there to be that many white people, and it was like about half, and then it got to the point where it felt like there were more, but maybe I was just over like stating it in my mind, or I don't know. Anyway.
And
yeah, that's always like
It just wasn't my
a bit
space, so like I didn't
uncomfortable.
feel
Yeah,
so I
sure.
didn't feel like I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just like, I feel weird like being like, oh, I just went to this. So I would go again, but I think I would just I guess I would have a different understanding of it this time.
right.
Going.
If you had known better, then maybe you wouldn't have felt like so
Yeah.
uncomfortable or
But-
culture shock.
Angina was there. Is that her name? Angina?
Oh.
From RuPaul's Drag Race? Yeah, my friend was like flipped out and like took a picture with her and then went in to watch the show and was really excited. So
Oh.
I saw, after I left, I saw two rats fighting in a parking lot.
I saw that.
shit.
And that was really interesting.
I was like, how does John and Renee get out to New York so fast?
It was, that one rat, and then the other rat ran away. It was like one rat was like hopping on the other one, and then the one just ran away. And that was just wild. Like, I don't know. I just didn't expect to see two rats fighting in the parking lot. So that was fun. Yeah, I guess that's about it for my week. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I'm reading this book called Updraft by Fran Wilde, and it's really good. The main character is a black girl, and it's a fantasy novel set in, I don't know, wherever. And it's about people that live in the sky, in towers above the clouds, and it's really interesting. It's really entertaining. I'm only about, like, I'm not even, like, I wouldn't even say I'm, like, a quarter of the way through. Well, I guess I could say I'm about a quarter of the way through, and I'm, like, really excited to finish the rest of it, because it's, like, it's really good so far.
Oh, yay, books.
I'll go next. I can't talk about anything that happened this week, but all I have to say is, again, I'm working on things, and I'll be able to talk about it in a few weeks, so be on the lookout.
Teaser. Tease me.
Things are being done, contracts are being signed, so just
Are you
be on the lookout.
play with his nipples?
What?
Because I said tease me.
Bitch, don't listen. After this discourse, don't get me excited. Anyway,
Seraphine.
how was y'all's weeks, John and Renee?
I hate you so much.
Oh, you can drag me, but I can't drag you.
That's true. Okay. I'm actually.
Hi, we're still recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull a Renee this week, and I signed my NDA not to talk about it.
Renee?
I'm gonna pull a John.
No!
And sign my.
I mean, we already knew what was up. We already knew.
They knew.
Renee always.
All right. Well,
Renee has a weekly NDA that he has to sign to update on the weeks.
right. He prints it out and signs it his damn self. Like it's a contract that he has with no one else but himself. But okay, I guess with that, we'll end that.
Also Rakeem, but like, big ups to Rakeem for being at the DACA march.
Oh my God! Thank you. Sorry, I went to the DACA march yesterday or 2 days ago. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, and I went because I just felt it was necessary to go. I didn't really feel the need to. I don't know. I didn't feel the need to like advertise or anything like that. I just went because I just felt it was necessary to go. And I met so many beautiful people and saw so many beautiful people. And one moment that stuck out was, we were and I say we because it was the group of us, but I went up by myself. But, we were walking by this clinic in Echo Park, and all of these doctors came out who were DACA recipients, and the whole march just stopped and clapped for them, and it was like one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. But to that, I guess I just quickly want to say before we end the episode is, I don't like the narrative that DACA recipients have to be doctors or have to be scientists or have to be engineers. Like they're people
to be worthy.
Yeah, and you don't have to fit some kind of educational requirement to be here. You're a person, and we see your humanity, and that's what matters. But it was a beautiful moment. If I'll try to link some pictures of the march. I don't know if I can do that in the podcast description, but I'll try to do that. But it was a beautiful moment, and I'm just really grateful that I got to share that with so many people and got to speak with so many people, and yeah, we're just happy. I'm just happy that there were so many people, and also there were so many Black women that were there. Like, I'm just really happy that so many people were here to, show solidarity. So, yeah. With that, I guess we'll end the episode. Again, our social media links are, our Twitter is Trash of Color. Our everything else is Podcast of Color. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Tumblr. You can follow us on Facebook. If you have any questions or honey roasts or things that you want us to talk about during the episode, you can email that at podcastofcolor@gmail.com. And also, again, if you would like to be a patron for Patreon, you can do that at patreon.com/podcastofcolor, and we'll put that in the link as well.
Oh, me and John did an accidentally ASMR review of Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion for the bonus episode. If you want to listen,
I low key was ASMR triggered. So.
And also,
anyway,
also look out for our anime videos coming. So.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing Code Geass next, and Attack on Titan. So look out for that.
Also, please, we really do want constructive criticism. We're not just saying that. So if you do think that there's any way that we can improve the show, please feel free to email us.
Let us know. And
you could have a fleet at the table as well.
Fleet at the table, and then you can suggest if you want a certain type of bonus video, if you want the ASMR of Bays eating honey smothered biscuits that I really want to happen.
Our video of Mark eating my honey smothered cakes.
Oh, okay.
I want to see that too. I want to see that too.
No. And with that, we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
I love you, listener.